lost options. Oh crap, I forgot to go live everywhere else. Mhm. All right, the meal restream has activated. Yep, there goes my co-host. uh, and good morning to everyone here in the room today. In on X, thank you so much for joining us. Let's take a look here. See. Mm, let's get Kanessa back up here. Kanessa and her janky connection. Tell me, Kanessa, are you using your Wi-Fi?
Not now. Now I am
Yeah.
using the I don't know what happened, but now I'm using 5G or whatever.
Yeah, 5GE. I wonder when they added the E. But yeah, like I've noticed like with Twitter Spaces, you have to literally not use your Wi-Fi for it, or else like it'll just be janky as hell.
I usually do and it's usually fine, but I know like in the past if I've had to go from Wi-Fi to like satellite or whatever tower, then it'll cut out. But yes, I am back. I am back. And I think we were
Yep.
talking about profanity filter, yeah. And so maybe that's just something we could ask Foundation, like, if that's something that they're going to put back in, if it's just a feature that's done. I mean, just to like slow the f bombs in Genesis Plaza, like right off the bat. I mean, I don't know. I think it comes to the discussion too of like, everybody wants this to be decentralized, like decentralization, like no censorship, but it's decentralization doesn't mean you get to just be an asshole everywhere you go. And like, well, it's decentralized. Like the protocol is decentralized. It's built on the ETH blockchain. Like being an asshole does not mean decentralization.
Yeah, kind of about what was it like about a year ago, about a year and a half ago. You and I had the pleasure of interviewing and sitting down with Esteban, the co-founder of Decentraland, or one of the co-founders of Decentraland. And I remember him explicitly getting like the decentralization question, like, oh, like this how do you feel that like the platform is headed towards like not a decentralized place? And then he kind of like answered with like, everyone wants to say decentralization, but what needs to be defined is the decentralization of what. It's like and like you mentioned, the protocol is decentralized. The platform we're on, like if I if you want a Decentraland where you could just scream the C word everywhere, like go spin up your own server. You can do this. Like the protocol is there for you. Um, but like while we're within this platform here, like it's like we need to we need to set some rules that we can abide by. And yeah, or also like Canessa, going back to the profanity filter, maybe it's like a new account thing that like when you log in there could be a profanity filter that's already by default turned on. And then like as the user like uses the platform more, because like Spooky does have an excellent point about like, this is the internet. There's always going to be that dickhead. So um yeah, so like maybe it's like given the choice of experiencing the language or not, whether you want to. But then again, like I also feel like Decentraland in itself, like the foundation, the team that is also developing this client uh kind of needs to take a step forward in this. Like I kind of this morning, like when Rustan showed off the image, and let's see, Vitsky coming in and saying we have an issue with scene banning, with scene ban. We tried to ban him, but we have to wait until next release for a definitive fix. And like I'm just sitting like I'm just sitting here like, okay, so they're trying to like give us like personalized colors for our fucking names. And like is that like their priority right now? Like, creating a kind of like a welcoming and safe environment for users, like at least like within the starting area. Like shit, for all I care, like the rest of it could be a all out war for all I care. Like, once you step out of Genesis Plaza, because like we the users have the option. Like if you're a landowner, you could build whatever you want on your land. Um so yeah, that kind of, and on top of that, it's like they are paying welcome guides to make the platform a welcoming place. So like I don't know. I don't know. It's like at this point they're paying for nothing in a way, because like all the efforts from those welcome guides could just be wiped away by one person being an asshole.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I would love, or I feel like we need consistency in the message, because I know that we've got, one person who's banned from the entire platform, and he's a landowner and he can't even access, the NFT that he purchased because of what he said. And then somebody else that's just banned from Genesis Plaza, but kind of not. They're still kind of there and they can't really be banned. And so it's kind of like I just, for me, maybe because I just like the way my brain works as a teacher, like consequences, you don't give consequences unless you are going to enact them. Like that's the worst thing to do, but like have it very clear. If you say this, then you're going to get this kind of ban. Because I think that like with that first person who was banned, it was like I don't agree with them, but there was a lot of gray area where it was like, geez, I really would like to have foundation weigh in on this. And to my knowledge, I don't think that they, publicly did. Um, I don't know, like that it needs to be consistent. So what you don't do for one person, what you won't do for the next. And that doesn't isn't just like negative consequences, that's positive consequences too. Make sure that everything is as equitable as possible. Because otherwise it's hard to say, yeah, come and, buy a NFT and you can build whatever you want in Decentraland. But then you can get banned. And then like what if that NFT that you buy, the land, somehow gives you more ownership on the property where you are, I don't know, like maybe you can't shut the profanity filter off unless you're a landowner. Nah, that'd be too extreme. But like, yeah, you should be able to go say whatever you want on your own land. Like I want to be able to go to the cantina and be like, son of a biscuit, because that's my land. But I don't go around in public yelling profanities, so I'm not going to do it at Genesis Plaza. So maybe like
Yes.
nobody should be able to use potty words in Genesis Plaza. Oh my
You just
god.
reminded me of that old Trident commercial. You son of a biscuit eating bulldog.
Yeah, if I had my way, I think this would be like elementary school. Like, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I've got a pretty creative mouth too, but I don't know. Just like banning in, like, we have to figure this out if we're going to scale to something larger. Because if you said that stuff in Roblox, you'd just be reported and done, and you're banned and you're gone. Like, you would make a new account, you'd come in and you'd do it 5 times in a Saturday night. Like that's what kids are doing all the time. And so it's just kind of funny that we can't figure it out here.
I stand by, and in all honesty, it just tells me how, like, little the team at the top has really thought about it. Like, how hard would it be to kinda just create, like like a purgatory for the users where, like, it just takes them into, like, a kind of like a re-education camp where they have to, like, go through it, and like maybe there's like annoying music like it's a channel's world just repeating and blasting in their ears like while there's like happy flowers walking around them or whatever, like just drive them insane. And it's like every time they log into Decentraland from that IP or, or whatever, like however it is that they can track, they get thrown into that world instead of Genesis Plaza.
Yeah. Well, I mean, private landowners could do that. So,
Yep.
you know, Rustan made a nice dungeon.
Yes, yes, Rustan made a nice hell for all of us, and we actually hung out in hell with him. Uh,
Yeah. And then Spooky's asking, does it happen a lot? No, Spooky, I would say this is like this is pretty isolated. This person specifically, um, there's been two people banned, and then the other person, I think, is somebody that the community all knows very well, and you know, we've all kind of it's. I think we all care for them, and it's just unfortunate the way it rolled out. So, but generally, no. People, I mean, everybody has a bad day. Like everybody should be allowed to have a bad day where you pop off and you know, you don't say you we're not gonna be perfect all the time. Um, but I think this is like crossing the line from having a bad day to like having bad weeks and then like trying to uh, you know, destroy it for everybody else too. I think that the part that hurts is like we all really liked this person and they were pretty cool, and so we don't understand like what's happening. Kind of like some other stuff that happened this week where we don't understand. Like you don't understand why the person's suddenly not here and doing things that are hurtful. And I don't know. It's just I guess it's part of being a human.
Yep, yep. I mean, we as like friends, or we used to be friends. Like we've tried to provide every opportunity for them to be included along with us, like in what we do. I mean, they've had installations with, or they had their little area with like within our like community building, the Central Land installation in Art Week last year. They we like we've never like pushed them away or said anything negative about them because like it's always been positive. They've always been good, and then all of a sudden it's like I don't and it was very weird because like it would at first it would come in random spurts and kind of like you'd like see some weird stuff being posted by them, and then like an hour later they were like normal. And those instances, I was kind of like, "Oh, okay, that was weird," but, like, moving on, I guess, but then it just suddenly just got bad. It became what it is now. So,
Well, and
yeah,
I
go ahead, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, like, I think the inevitable truth is that maybe a lot of times the people that use social platforms like this are searching for something. Like maybe there's parts of their physical life that aren't where they want it to be. You know, like loneliness or social anxiety. And so I think a lot of times people find this as like an outlet for like being a different part of themselves that they maybe can't be in the real world. um you know, but that I don't know, so I just working a lot with people with different challenges in mental health. I just think that sometimes it's the loneliness epidemic, or it's we all suffer from something, like myself included. And so sometimes it's just people that They're fighting more demons than we see behind the computer screen. And Decentraland and like different, Second Life, Roblox, all these places, it can be a really therapeutic place and like a lifesaver. Or it could be a band-aid for like bigger problems that we just can't do anything about. We can't help. And sometimes it just takes real help from a professional, medical professional, whatnot. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
talking more like other people that kind of just like have done things unexpectedly, like with behavior, and just I don't know. I hope them all the well. Hope them the best. Wish them well.
Yep, yep. Every case is different. Yeah, and totally, we don't always know the underlying issues. And then, lastly, on the subject, I want to reiterate what I put in general chat. I nominate Mean Green Doge as head dev of Decentraland because there is a clear disconnect at the top, and it's very noticeable. Like priorities are not yeah. Priorities are not being prioritized correctly. Uh, I don't care about I don't care about being able to turn my head if it means that, like, we're not fixing streaming issues or as they say, as he said, they can't ban someone because and they have to wait till next release. That's just I don't know. Yeah, lazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know enough about being a dev to say that hey, that's just they don't want to, because I'm afraid like when stuff gets put out that it breaks stuff and it breaks other stuff. So like that would be my thought is, I mean, maybe there's bug testing that they have to do in the meantime, because if they push it right now, it might break things that were just created. Like
So
being very familiar with like with how easily stuff kind of one update will just break 10 different things that you didn't that aren't related to it. I don't know.
so
I would rather them be like go
so
through all the tests.
what's the difference with breaking the platform to release a dumb feature like colored names to breaking the platform to try to fix something that we all use like streaming?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the names were of like maybe pushing that edit was an unintentional break, and maybe there's something that they're like, no, we know for sure this is gonna break if we push this. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like trying to see the like holistically the big picture of um they can see that it's important, and if they pushed it, like I don't know why else you wouldn't push it just because it's not on the calendar.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they just keep following their little roadmaps and don't look to the side. Once again, Mean Green Doge for president.
Well, I mean, I think like Make has said, "Hey, don't put out edits all like, but don't push changes all the time." And you're saying push a change now. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I would be frustrated if I was like, guys, we're trying, like, we can't keep everybody happy. Um, and maybe they could explain it better of like why they can't push this edit until the next time. Maybe that would help us understand it more. But I just know that
Okay.
like as somebody like I know that there's people builders especially trying to put stuff out that every time something changes and it changes their build, that's like horribly frustrating.
It's not. I think it's kind of different because, like, yes, Make has been mentioning that, like, but like, I'm kind of speaking with the structure that they currently follow, which is like edit every freaking week. So, like, if you're gonna edit every week, why not make it a something that needs to be fixed, opposed to breaking the platform due to something that we don't need?
I think it's still just troubleshooting what the problem is. Like I don't think it's because they don't want to. I think they're still trying to dig to the root problem of like, why won't this work? Why doesn't this work? Why won't this ban them?
They need to dedicate more man hours and less man hours towards colors. That's
Okay, but I
and
I'm
maybe
still
stop vibe coding.
I'm still gonna say, like, we don't know if that's the same team. Like, I think there's very specific teams. Like, Alavra is on, like, gliding and other things with the avatar. Like, I don't know that it's just one team working on one thing. So, like, if you're on the team that's working on gliders, and they're like, "Hey, we need to dedicate you now to like profanity filters," you'll have to come in and like get caught up to speed. So I don't know. I imagine there's probably different teams for different things, and that's
I
what it
agree.
seems like. It seems like Vitsky is on the censorship side. Like he's the one always trying to work out the bugs for that. And then it's Lavra and other people that are doing more like the physical, like the UI features.
I agree. I agree. And also, they're all getting paid, so why not just reallocate resources? Like that. Yeah, whatever. I I don't know.
I know. I think if it's a problem, like they can't, they're trying to figure it out. Like, why isn't this working? Then I think that's it. Doesn't matter if you throw, Elon Musk on it. Like, it just might be a problem that they have to go manually or like look through and bug test through everything. But maybe you're right. Maybe they should just put everybody on the one problem and that would fix it.
Yeah, if it's a big enough problem, like, yeah, who knows? uh, the decision makers need to make better decisions. That's where I'm standing at the moment. Because I don't know, it hurts all around because like you have Kim and Dana and Dr. Krillo like in their department trying to like push all these great things, but at the same time they're being held back with sometimes the platform not even working. So it's like I don't know. Uh, yeah, it's counterproductive to themselves, and they're spending money uh, to or they're wasting money at that point because yeah, they're just going against each other. It's like one's trying to push the platform forward and the other is like breaking the platform.
I know, but you can't stop it. You can't like, let's say it's a naval ship and like there's repairs that need to be done. You don't pull it out of the water every time and put it in seaport to fix the problems. You have to fix on the run, and I think that that's like, like every virtual platform. You can't stop it to fix it. The only time you can do that is like, all right, Fortnite has its update Fridays. The servers are going to be down for 3 hours because it's such a big update. Like, think about that. We don't do it the way Fortnite does it. Like, we don't sit there and actually shut the platform down for 2 hours. I don't know if anybody doesn't play Fortnite, you're not aware of, like, the interruption of life that, like, you can't log in for 2 hours. But that's another way we could do it, is instead of pushing these constant updates while our ship is in the water moving, we could just stop everything, like, every 2 months for 2 hours, everything comes out, and the shitty part about that is that it doesn't always work, and so God forbid, I remember a time last year when Fortnite Epic servers were down for like 18 hours and people were just collapsing in agony. Like, but that's the reality. It's like if you don't have any other way to test it live, like you got to keep it's got to keep moving. And I don't know of a better way to do it. But that, like, maybe we should ask them, like, would they ever just do that where like
I
hard
like that
updates, just
method.
shut everything down and then hope for the best once you turn the servers back on.
Mhm. I like that method. But at the same time, it's I don't know if because like there could be a like we're around like there's a lot of people here that are willing to even like test maybe potential updates that are coming up and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think they're like their supply of bug testers is limited. I think they have plenty of people with plenty of different devices around.
Yeah, I think the issue is like once they push an update, they don't know how it's going to affect other components of the. the platform. Like if they push smart wearables, they don't know how that interacts with emotes. I mean, God knows I'm having way too much fun breaking stuff so that I can get new things to happen. Like there's ways that I can break stuff that I'm like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but nobody told me no yet. So I don't know. I just think it's all so interconnected that um think about like every time you log in and you have to update your client, like that happens a lot. Um like is that the right way to do it, or should it be less frequently but then like a big update? Like when I have to download Fortnite, it's like 2 hours to sit there cuz I have a Switch. So it's like
Oh my
you have to
god.
I know Super Ninja gets right on. He's in there. I'm waiting. But, like, that's the alternative, like, servers are down for 4 hours, and then I have to sit there and download for 2 hours. Whereas, like, since they're always pushing little updates in Decentraland, the update when it's, like, reinstalling Decentraland, it's, like, I don't know, 5 minutes for me, maybe it's more for other people, but
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, even platforms like Fortnite, when they do those major updates, like right behind them come like these hot fixes because they go live, they see the issues, and they're like, "Oh shit, we need to fix this." And then that's where the hot fix comes in.
exactly, they nerf all the good weapons.
Yes. They
So, I mean, so, like, that's what Decentraland is doing also, it's just doing it constantly, like smaller updates more often.
Mm, who knows? The world is yours. Lol, lol, lol. And welcome, Calm Music. Thank you so much for joining us. And I see Fancy over there on the Central End with us. And Peace is here as well. Welcome, Tweetius. Hope you've been enjoying the conversation. Just Canessa and I going back and forth here. What up, Jake? I see you down there in the listeners. Great to see you, my friend. And Hayabusa as well. Alan Howick in the building. Big shout out Alan Howick. He has graciously allowed the Mew Mew to connect his estates together through a land trade, the grand land trade of 2026. I shall call that strip of land Howick Drive.
Gosh, I was gonna say something. Um, I wish Toxic was here, but I think it's good she's not. She's taking, yeah, hopefully having some fun time out there today. But a big conversation started at the Dow Town Hall this week that
Yes.
started and lasted for I think over 2 hours. And the conversation was basically um just there's a lot of upheaval turmoil, the in the Dow right now. So it was Gino and Toxic and myself speaking basically our town halls for the Dow a good idea the way we're doing them right now? Should they be like, are they necessary? We have very few people show up to them and very few people participate. Whereas at the 2 month AMA from Foundation, there were 43 questions on the Slido at the end, and some of them, didn't get answered. Some of them could have also been like just asked in the help chat. So there's just like a little bit of repetition between having like Regenesis Labs come up and speak during the AMA for Foundation as well as in a monthly town hall. And that got us, talking about quite a few different concepts as well, like the direction moving forward and do people feel comfortable to come up and speak in the town hall? Because I mean, a lot of times people are pretty vocal here in this space or in like Discord, just voice chats when we're in there talking, and then not so much when it's like quote unquote official town halls. Um, so yeah, just putting that out there. We don't have to rehash it because it seems like sometimes it's also like we talk about the same thing over and over again. But yeah, putting it out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like some of a lot of the friends that are here may have not been at the town hall to kind of listen to the conversations. uh, and I mean, like for example, like it's I'm usually struggling to attend to those town halls because I'm at work. All the town halls happen while in the middle of my workday. Sometimes, most of the time, in the busiest parts of my workday. Like so. So like this week I was able to join easily because my bosses were away on vacation. So, I mean, that provided me a little extra, freedom to, like, whip out my phone and throw on an ear pod and step away from the office whenever I needed to say something, opposed to, like, when they're around and it's, like, just rapid fire or, like, they need me to get something done, you know? Um, yeah. I mean, I think old guy kind of is on the same boat as well. Like like usually the town halls are in the middle of his workday. Only reason why he could join this week is because he believe he said he took the day off.
Well, that is definitely a problem that, somebody is gonna get missed. I know when we meet for the council, it's 6 o'clock in the morning for me, 11 o'clock at night for another council member, like 10 o'clock in the morning for another one, and it's like it's not good for the two of us on the ends of the day. But if we don't meet at that time, like we can't hit everybody's time zone. So one alternative is for the town hall is to have it at two different times. Have it, super early in the morning for our, like, Australian friends. Because I don't know, like, does the town hall is that convenient for Billy T Coin? Is that convenient for, our friends in China? Like,
Uh, it's like
it's
2
not
a.m. for Billy.
exactly. So it's not working for a lot of different people, and so having it at two different times might be considered repetitive, but at least it's thorough enough that the message gets through. Or having it recorded, um, like I think it would be beneficial to have it recorded and then posted on YouTube, where translation tools could also be used, so that a lot of our friends that English is not their first language, and sometimes we speak fast or we use lingo that might not translate well. So having it available for people to translate, um, might be really beneficial too. Like if we're going to make it equitable to our global audience, I think those would be good tools.
Yes, yes, I agree. But and even on like with that, there are still kind of I feel like challenges when it comes to like having two separate time slots. It's like there needs to be an efficient way to bring it together on like what was discussed on the afternoon session and what was discussed in the morning session. Like who said this, what thoughts kind of cross reference or kind of cross and meet in the middle or yeah, what sentiments match, stuff like that.
Yeah, and have an ability to ask questions ahead of time, so that if you are a non-native English speaker, you can compose your question, translate it, offer it ahead of time, and then it can be answered on the spot. Because really, it's like you kind of have to. There's a lot of blockers. Like you have to be there, and then you have to have English proficiency enough to ask your question or type it, or you have to be comfortable enough to come up and speak. So those are like three blockers right there. So having it like bringing down those barriers so that everybody can access the information. Um, like I think right as we go forward, I think we're going to need that more and more, just because we're going to have questions about grants coming up when the grant program reopens. I think there's going to be a lot of people, looking for clarity. So,
Oh
yeah.
boy, can't wait. uh I really hope that the grant environment is does not become what it was. Like not saying like when it comes to like the grant updates and stuff like that, because I used to like those updates and love to listen to like what the teams are doing. But like kind of like the ugliness that came around having grants, which was like which was like, people coming in with the short-sighted interest of like, I just want money. I am coming in and then like kind of joining those like town halls. It's like, hello, hello, I just joined today. I want money. How what do you guys need so I can put grant in to get money?
Yeah, I mean, from what they've described, it doesn't sound like that's gonna be it sounds like it would be really hard to, uh, make it into the grant program if you're just going to be doing that. I think that they wanna see proof of concept,
Yes.
know that you can deliver on that, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like, we gotta inject some coffee in the veins of this ecosystem. Like, let's get going. Um, and I do like that these are smaller grants. They aren't like, oh, here's $250,000 to build something that you can just walk away from. Like, no, like that's insane.
Yes, yes, yes. I kind of just blew my mind during the town hall when a current Labs employee who has received hundreds of thousands of dollars to make stuff on Decentraland said, "Oh, this is my first time in this Discord. I didn't know it existed." I'm just like, I'm like, okay, get lots of money, rug lots of projects, yet not contribute to anything. "Oh, well, it wasn't me, it was my team." Nice cover.
Yes. Yes, I mean, I think it'd be nice if like if it were me and it's not, but baseline requirements, like you have to show up for town halls if you're a recipient, like or to be eligible for grant recipients, you have to show up. Like boom. You I don't know, like you have to actually log into Decentraland and I mean all of that stuff they can see behind the scenes. Seems like that would be not too much to ask. And then evergreen content, like making stuff that isn't going to be irrelevant like in 6 months or a year from now. Like make stuff that's going to
Yep, yep.
be
So,
valid for a long time.
but by any chance, I mean, I remember, like, one of the big issues with the last programs was that, like, when it came to kind of code things, it was like, the DAO did not own the code, I guess, or, like, there were people, like, pulling these, grants for hundreds of thousands of dollars to build something. I guess, like, one I could use is, like, Exodus, and then, like, it's like they stopped developing, but it's like they don't wanna give the code up because it's, proprietary for their business and blah, 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 blah. In a way, like, is there anything that kind of, like, makes whatever code is developed through this program, open source so that the DAO can take it and, like, once these individuals abandon their projects, like, the DAO could have the code to like put into GitHub or like it's like, oh yeah, we had a DAO funded project that kind of built the beginnings of this. Maybe you can take the code and continue it. It's in the GitHub or it's available or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, March 11th, 2024 cuz you know I love bringing up the receipts.
Yes,
March
please.
so like literally
Receipts,
2
please.
2 years ago, open source all code generated using DAO funds. A proposal was enacted. So, yes, according to this, the DAO grants program has already allocated $13,272,000 to different projects since its creation. Um, so basically, as of beginning 2023, open sourcing the code was made a requirement for the platform category. So at that time, like if you were creating something in the platform category, it had to be open source. But yes, I believe Genesis Labs, everything that is created for that must be open source. And I also I believe could be wrong, but I believe it's a requirement that it's optimized for mobile. Like you got to make it work for mobile because that's where, I mean, the big push, especially from Genesis Labs, is creating the mobile clients for people to access. So yeah, open source. I mean, I think there's still like, if you're making a good enough game, and maybe I'm wrong, but like in my mind, if you're making a good enough game and your story is good enough and your characters and your scene and your setting and your vibe is good enough, give the code away. Nobody can copy your aesthetic, your vibe, like everything. I mean, if it's a shooter game and you're shooting cake at everybody just like Genesis Plaza, um, make it awesome enough that like somebody can come along and make another cake game. But everybody will be like, you just ripped them off, like you just copied it. So like you could come along and somebody had the idea yesterday, like make a big pile of snow and then we could grab snowballs off of the pile, just like the cake. So the mechanics are the same. You're going up to something, you're getting something, and you're throwing it at somebody. And it would be just as fun to like do a snowball throw as it would be, for the cake. So I don't know. I could be wrong, man, but I feel like if you're, it's so hard not to be a teacher because I'm like, guys, if your story is true enough, it doesn't matter if it's open source because people will fall in love with your characters. But I really believe that. I'm such a dreamer. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I should put my money where my mouth is and make a game and make a story characters. That way I can actually like, um, yeah. Then I might be like, you
Can,
fuckers are taking my
can,
code. That like, no, you're taking my
can,
my characters. Like, didn't you fall in love with my protagonist? Like, isn't my villain arc like strong enough?
Canessa, you get me the 3D assets. I will vibe code them. I've been very into Cursor lately, so let's try to put together a little game.
I know, I know. I've got assets that I made years ago, or like I had made years ago for an idea that I had. It was like, yeah, very like mischievous, and I've never done anything with it yet. And I was actually inspired by Isle. Like, if anybody has had a chance to check out Isle's game, like he made it so I can't cheat anymore. I did cheat a little, and I still maybe cheat a little, but man, that is like a fun game. So if you see IL say asking like, "Hey, do you want to test this game?" Go test it out. Definitely, I'm not running around the map memorizing it so that I'll have an unfair advantage when all of you guys play with me. But it's so fun and it's, I would say, like very inspiring because he's very open about how he built it, and it's like, dang, like, oh, it's just mind blowing, guys. We did not have this like a year ago, 2 years ago. Like everything that AI is giving us is just, we gotta hustle. Like we gotta like figure this shit out fast because if we don't, like there's people coming up that will. I guess basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sitting down with Rustan, playing with Cursor a little more, like, really opened up my eyes. Like, for the first time, I really did feel like I could develop something. Uh, so, so I mean, shit. I mean, I think the only thing holding me back at this point is my lack of assets. Like, I mean, I guess I could like maybe create a little Pokemon game with like two square boxes. It's like I'll use the yellow box and you can use the blue box, and we can select the attacks and just make it wiggle back and forth because I have no 3D knowledge or animation knowledge or anything like that. But
But as somebody with like modeling knowledge and animation knowledge, I'm seeing that I am antiquated. I no longer am needed. Like, and I've spent, I don't know, 2 3 years now learning Blender. I'm like, boy, that was, I mean, I love it, but those were skills I didn't need because now you could just like, there's other things that can do it for you. Um,
I mean,
I love modeling. I'm not doing anything else, but it's like, wow, I can't be a blocker either. I have to kind of like get out of my own head and be like, maybe there's an easier way to do this, Canessa. Like maybe I should
well,
be.
I th
Cursor.
I th I don't think you're obsolete, like, I think it just like, what AI could do for you and necessarily is amplify, like, what you're doing, because, like, I don't know, there is something to me that is just so, like, janky about, like, typing in a prompt and getting a 3D asset of something that was solely created by AI, opposed to, like, a 3D creator, a 3D artist coming in with that already kinda has a vision of how they want their model to look, and using AI to polish it and make it more refined. Am I making sense?
Yeah, totally. I mean, even if I said, "AI, I want it to look like this," like, it it might be hard to match the vision that I have in my head, so, like, a lot of
Correct.
times it's easier just to do it like, "Fine, I'll do it myself. I'm just gonna Thanos it. I'll just do it myself." But, um but in doing so, you're giving up time. Like, that I think is the biggest commodity, is like, do I wanna sit here and yes, I could make all these assets, but that's gonna take me, 2 days to use AI to make all these, and that's 2 days I could have been spending. I mean, it just takes time to make this stuff. Um, yeah, so I think we're gonna want to have non-AI stuff in the future. There's gonna be this, like, crazy shift to, like, in the 70s, there was this period of time called the back to earth movement, where people grew their hair. I mean, they were hippies, they grew their hair out, but they went back to living in, like, they people were buying homesteads, they were living back in, like, more peaceful, nature with, like, I don't know. Anyway, Google back to earth movement. I think we're gonna have that with AI. It's gonna be like back to work movement, where people are like, "No, no, no. I don't wanna make this asset in 5 minutes. I wanna spend a month fleshing it out," and people are gonna be like, they're gonna, like, think it's so cool that you actually spent the time doing it. I don't know if we can fathom
I
it yet, though. Like, we're
already
still
think
in it.
it's cool. I mean, I already think it's cool. Anytime that I, like, see an original piece of work that someone put their hard work into, like, I appreciate it for what it is, but, yeah, maybe the world hasn't caught up yet on that mentality. I don't know.
Well, the other
Like I s
thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, just to finish off, like I said, I feel like there's a certain jankiness that comes with, like, letting AI make your vision.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you get the Temu version of your asset,
Exactly.
where I joke that my penguin is the dollar store version of my Pudgy, but it's more the Temu version, like, what you, ordered versus what you got. I don't know, but I mean, I made that. That's not even AI. I don't want somebody to
Oh.
be like, "Look at that AI slop," and I'll be like, "No, no, that's just my real slop." So
What you're describing was, like, to me, like, I for some reason, I mentally, like, envisioned you remember I don't know if it was, like, last week or early this week, where, like, that thing about, like, the original Penguin or some shit, suing
oh,
Pudgy
yeah.
for
Yep, yeah.
copyright, then you posted the thing of, like, "This is my Pudgy, I am my Pudgy," and you put the colors and the overalls on, like, their ugly ass penguin logo, right next to yours.
Yes, I had to try to
Uh,
fit in with my penguin
that was
counterpart.
the Temu version.
Yeah.
That's the, like, your Pudgy is like what I ordered versus what I got type shit.
Yep, yep. Well, it's actually hard to it was hard for me to replicate the Pudgy and make it look good. I still wish she was a little bit different, but she is what she is. But okay, so if you're looking for assets, this is actually like, um gosh, like, the speed at which AI is able to create stuff now, to the point where it's going to help us make the games, but now we need the content to go into it. I think this is going to, instead of like AI and like would go to AI and say, "Hey, I need something that looks like a Pokemon character that's tiny, cute, big eyes." I think we're going to like unlock IP in a way that like we're gonna need characters, and the easiest way to do that is like, hey, IP, like let's put my penguin in that game. Or like the perfect thing that comes to mind is the artifact Project Animus, because those all look like Pokemon already. So if you really want a game and you want to get some characters in there, like what about these NFT projects that are out there that you can just literally buy the IP in like 2 seconds? You've got a fully like, well, maybe not fully rigged, but 3D model, like Bit Beasts. Those come with a 3D model, so you could have. I mean, Bit Beasts are like $10 right now. I think the floor. You could have a slew of projects IP to use in a game in no time, and then like with that, you can then tap into each one of those projects following and like, make a once you make your game, put a post on X, and like there's a little bit beast that's the final boss, and then you're able to tap into the attention of those different crowds too. But anyway, I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of potential with that. And I see M has come up. Hello, hello.
I'm very happy M came up because I have questions. But first, I'll let M, address what what she came up here for, and then I have my question.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I always get so
I
nervous to come up on Twitter Spaces. Um,
I
It's
do
just
too. I do
us. It's
too.
just us.
It doesn't
I
go away.
know, but they're recorded and then people watch them afterward or they watch them anonymously and it just gives me anxiety. I'm playing with the dog, by the way, so I apologize in advance. She's got a ball. Um, I came up because you guys were talking about projects, 3D assets, IP, and AI. Um, all of those things. So recently I started like kind of playing in Roblox and using, cursor to code in Roblox. I'm so sorry. This is going to be so bad.
It's okay. I'm a dog mom. I know the language.
She's just got a lot of energy. It's early in the day.
Yes.
She's got to move.
Oh.
So we're throwing the ball. But anyways, I started playing in cursor and it helped me entirely, code that Roblox game. Something that I want to put into Decentraland when I have the time because I have 5,000 projects because I have ADD. But I used Cursor entirely for that project, and Doc helped me with the 3D assets for the actual critters. And I don't know if he wants to come and speak on that because he was the one that totally tackled all of the custom critters and the IP for them and 3D assets for them that I did put in the game, but it is private right now, so you won't be able to go visit it. But yeah, we did put those assets in there. They were entirely AI created, and they were already happening. It's already available to do, and AI puts everything out really high poly, right? So Kanessa, you and I talked a little bit about the
Oh, we're losing you, M. You're coming in and out.
Oh no, Em.
I know, I know. She had me at the edge of my seat. Like when last thing was Canessa, you and I spoke about, and then you.
Oh, she dropped down to listener. I know she and I had talked about like decimating, and she was talking about triangles, like how you do have to decimate, bring the size of the file down, which is actually really easy to do. I don't I got step one done. I got it decimated. Step two is still like weight paint it, so maybe I'm gonna realize like, oh no, this is not actually easy. So I'll tell you when I'm done with the whole process.
Welcome back, M.
Sorry, I walked away from the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yeah. Twitter Spaces are better if you don't use Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know that. But anyways, all this stuff is stuff that Doc is teaching me, obviously, because he is the master in Blender and all of these great things. So I just wanted to come up and share that because um, that's definitely something he has been helping with and doing all of that for the Critter Collect. And it's so cool that there isn't that barrier anymore, right? Like, I don't know.
Gosh, that is mind blowing. Like now, so since you did all of your own create like critters creations, like technically you've got the like whether you copyright it, I don't know what the process would be to protect the IP on that. But then you could go and take that and like you've got your own, rather than like pull in other people's projects, you've got your own. So then you could like create your own NFTs based on that. Oh my gosh. Like there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, there's like so many ideas, and Doc's definitely gonna have to be the one that goes into depth on that because he knows more. But it was just, it was mind blowing, and also with the IP and the like, I don't even know if I'll do anything with that game. It was just a nice project to practice, right? I learned like a ton of shit. Sorry, I said a bad word. um,
It's okay.
okay, I don't know if that's allowed, but okay. But yeah, I definitely, it was just crazy to know that you could do a project from start to finish all on your own. Just absolutely insane.
That's going to be so cool. Like, if just to hear what you think about like having built it in Roblox, and then if you do bring it to Decentraland, like how it compares, like the pitfalls. I'm sure each platform has like good things about it and then like bad things about building. So that'll be really interesting to get like your feedback on both of those.
I haven't built enough into Decentraland for that yet, but eventually when I do, because for me right now it's hard. I'm intimidated. Um, if I talk to it about Doc, he'll be super encouraging and be like, "Yeah, no, you can definitely do this. You're great. You can awesome. This is gonna be easy." But it's like that's because he knows he's been practicing, right? So I feel a lot more comfortable having practiced in a different platform that's a little more like their process is already set up a little bit better for creating. So I, not really just better, but it's just better for the noob. You know, like it made it, and Cursor obviously makes it way easier too. That was just game changer. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see how hard it is to get into Decentraland. I was really inspired by Isle yesterday. He did a, Doc's gonna love this. It's kind of like RuneScape. It's got RuneScape music and like little assets. And anyways, it's like a capture the flag, and it was really cool to see somebody have built something like that. Like I know I've seen a ton of those, right? We've all built a ton of those, but I just felt like it happened so fast. Or maybe I just didn't know he was working on it, but I saw it yesterday and it just like made me want to try to actually put Critter Collect in DCL again. Like maybe it won't be that hard.
Yeah, and I think I mean, he was very helpful, just kind of like when I was asking questions like, how, like, okay, but how did you build all this? And he was like, here, this is what I use. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just blowing my mind. Because as a builder, that would have taken like 2 solid months. And I think he did it in, maybe, yeah, just a short amount of time. So I bet if you had, questions, I feel like he'd be like open to ask too. And then just having like the encouragement of everybody around, like I think it's totally possible to do what you're thinking. And maybe we need like a vibe coding club, or like some kind of like little group that's like wanting to start it for the first time but also scared, like I don't know what I'm doing. A support group.
I feel like GCL had something like that with either Kaze Nokai or somebody else. Dr. Krillo. I get everybody confused. But somebody, don't they have something where they were talking about using Cursor? Uh,
Office hours.
yeah, yeah. Can I have both? Thank you. Um, yeah, I feel like they did do that. If they wanted to do more of that, or maybe like publicize that a little bit more, that would be cool. And maybe take like people like Rustan and Doc that have extensive practice with using Cursor and doing things in Decentraland, and offer like an MGD. MGD is another one that could help. Like maybe do subsets of it. I don't know. Okay, you can have it. You can keep it.
Well, and what if everybody worked on, I don't know, like what if a group of people, like whoever wanted to, came together and worked on one project, just not like long term, we're marrying each other, but like a short term project to like, hey, we're gonna build this. And just because if it's one person, like Isle's a one person, I was like, do you have a team or is this just you? He's like, it's just me. So like if you think about indie game studios, it's not one person. It's like creative designer, you've got the person who makes characters, you've got the person who makes the environment, you've got the back end developers. Like everybody's got a different role. And I bet we could make cool shit really fast if people just worked as a collaborative team on something. And then it would like teach you those skills. And then you could break off of that and be like, all right, now I can do this on my own. But like, I
I
don't know.
I think it was this past week, we might start seeing the first iteration of this concept rolling out. Like, I mean, I'm seeing Sebga here, which was the person who announced it in the CBD Discord earlier this week. But I believe Alan Howick and Pipigod are involved. With what was it called? Smalltown.dcl.eth, which they're trying to like kind of do as like a collaborative build, like a little town, and collaboratively build with other builders within that world, as well as invite other builders as well to join in and contribute.
Yeah, that is awesome. I haven't had a chance to go and jump in and see too much of it, but if anybody wants to see more, it's in the CBD Discord, and it's in Builder Chat. I think is where they're meeting up.
Yes, yes, in the builder chat. I'm just like scrolling here to see if my information was correct. I see open call and instructions. If you need to publish on the world small dcl.dcl.eth, please follow these few recommendations: OAO, Peace, Lazaro, Bitcoin, Pepe God, and everyone. Let me know if anyone is interested. Max size of the 2x2. So it looks like they're splitting it out into 2x2 scenes here. I'll even share the Discord here on the screen. There, Seb got kind of provided a picture here of what it's looking like so far. Just few segments kind of built out. I kind of like what's going on here. And it's kind of like a first proof of concept to this that I feel maybe like might inspire other builders, as well as like even the central end devs to kind of like look into and allowing it to be easier for people to kind of like collaborate within a one world. Yeah, okay. I see these settings are finally working. Like Seb got put in a little video with the option to like, what was it, a uh multi-scene world. Very cool, very cool. And also I mean, I guess I have for future questions, I wonder if like it'll be like deploying to Genesis City, where like if you have a neighbor who has like a video that's like 8 million gigabytes, like will it affect the neighbor next door?
This is probably like the closest thing we've seen yet to forking Decentraland, other than um, new Decentraland or whatever it was, the offshoot. Um, this will be really cool as like a social experiment to see how it builds and grows.
Hello, Doc. How are you?
Howdy, GM. I was in the garage soldering. I actually heard M outside in the yard with the dog, but I had to finish my soldering. She told me to come up and say what up to everyone. But how's it hanging? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Hi. Always good to hear from you. Yeah, M was like telling us that you are the mastermind behind like the cursor development within her game.
Oh, I tinkered around. I still am not a big fan of Roblox, but after taking a peek at her screen and seeing some of the stuff, And it's so funny. Every time I talk about Roblox, all the PvP people unfollow me and soft block me on X, and there's a bunch of Decentralanders that have unfollowed me because of what I said last time about Roblox. So here I am saying good things about Roblox this time, because we're all allowed to change our mind. But no, I still don't like Roblox. But some things that are really great about Roblox is what Em was saying is like so when I shared Cursor with other people, I tell them like don't go full steam into Decentraland because it just doesn't know the code. It's not a proven language that has standed the test of time. It's kind of new. It's kind of being changed, and the docs aren't always up to date. So if you go and take Cursor and work in any other language, just think of a app you want to make, and um, it can do so much more. And so, in that sense, Roblox, which is a long-standing SDK or platform using it seems like parts of Unreal Engine. Like the editor is very similar to Unreal Engine, and it just takes off. Like so M as soon as she got set up on Cursor, she started clicking around in Roblox, and it made like the entire game in like just a few prompts. She had like the environment made, which is it was very similar to like Nifty Island in the sense that you can generate land, you can generate water, you can generate grass, and since that's able to be coded, um you're just able to tell it build a forest and it builds a forest, and it's like we don't really have that in Decentraland. And it's like I was thinking like why don't we have that? Why don't we have more generators and things? I was making straps for a bag, and I was like, why don't we have a generator that makes GLB straps that are super low poly so that you preserve and you don't have to go and do it and redo it every time. And yeah, there's just so many tools and aspects of Roblox that I think Decentraland could learn from. And yeah, so M's been cooking over there, and then she tried to bring it over into Decentraland, and it blew up on her desk because Decentraland just it's not the same yet. It's getting there. Um, yeah, I'll stop there. There's other things I could talk about, like the rigged avatars, and a few other things. But yeah, I'll take a pause.
Well, that's what I
So
wanted to mention was the sorry, go ahead, Zen. But really the rigged avatar part and the IP part, like I really wanted you to speak to that because that was something that you was all your suggestion and to put it in and get it going. So anyway, sorry.
no, no, no. I was just gonna make a quick comment about or kind of question. It's like, well, AI, it's artificial intelligence. Couldn't we like teach it?
So I did give it docs in a GitHub, and I just I was so burnt at that point. It can be taught. I'm pretty sure it can be taught. I'm pretty sure if you provide it the right information, it works with you. Um, but I think the point where I was at in that project, I was a little frustrated. But Doc knows more about that.
I totally understand. I'm currently trying to teach a trading bot how to trade.
Yikes.
You need a
Yes.
trading bot that teaches you how to trade first.
Yes, yes, exactly. I think maybe the issue may be the teacher.
So I've been working on a lot of high poly to low poly, not so much retopo, more decimation, quick stuff. And it was mostly when we were working with 3D assets. Um, lately, I've been using Tripo 3D because all of our favorite ones have exited the chat. But there's also other new tools that create avatars that are fully rigged using the same thing. There's a really amazing one. I'm going to share it in a second, and you all should write it down because it's super low key, but really amazing coming up in the other side development community for MML and VRM, I guess conversions. And the site is sideload.gg, sideload.gg, and it's created by the owner of Grills Gang, and I think you do need one to access it. Maybe you don't anymore, but you do pay for credits, and it creates it fully rigged, and it's on an Unreal Engine armature. So I guess that's the next thing I would mention is a lot of these assets are rigged, but they're on not a Decentraland armature. So for example, CloneX, Animus comes rigged. It definitely does. And the other thing to note about that is there's download issues for Animus. So I think people can't get their Animus, people can't get their clones, but if you go in the CloneX Discord, you can get them. So I would advise some caution with getting excited about Animus at this moment. But they do come rigged. The problem is it's an Unreal Engine rig. So that means you could throw it in other side. You could throw it in Hyperfi. Once you convert it to VRM, I believe, or maybe I don't know. We'll have to ask Rustan for that. I picked up a Sappy Seal, and the floor was $400. Now it's 200. Very similar to a kid called Beast, and those come with files. And again, Unreal Engine rigged. And Rustan and I actually sat down and tried to make a converter for CloneX rig to Decentraland rig. And the problem is there's more bones in the Unreal Engine one, so it's not a straight conversion. So we kind of put it on the back burner. But I think it's possible. One day it might be, possible. But they are rigged. There is a process to convert it from the Unreal Engine rig to the Decentraland rig if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to put it in Decentraland, you do need to decimate it. Rustan has some really good decimation tutorials. I'm not going to talk about retopo, even though that's what you should do. Decimation is quick, and there's ways to do it so that it doesn't obliterate everything. And that's the process I've been working on a lot, because downloading these AI assets, especially for M's game, like it's all practice, right? So uh, for me, I was doing a lot of just practice crunching, and that process kind of oh, and I started using prefabs too. I was always against using prefabs, but I mean, it's like for me, it's like building a WordPress website. You start with some form of a framework or a template, and then you take it beyond recognition, and it's the same process. So if you can download a prefab, decimate a prefab, customize it in Canva, Photoshop, ChatGPT for your textures, whatever you're using, put it all together, and if you can get good at that flow and that process, then you will be amazing at taking IP, taking seals, taking clones, taking beasts, and crunching them down to optimizing them to like perfect spec. And the last thing is all of these weight painting and armature transfers that M's been working on is all highly relevant to like other side and Unreal Engine, which is essentially putting things in the like mainstream video games, I guess. And I think the last thing I would say is M brought up to my attention that over in the Roblox world, apparently, I say this cautiously because I'm not even like, is this real?
Oh, don't quote me. Don't quote me.
Apparently, you can put a wearable in Roblox without doing any weight painting or without rigging it. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
All the creators are just gonna like Exodus, Decentraland, just because they hate weight painting. Just like give
Don't
us.
quote me. Don't quote me. I haven't actually published a Roblox one in a long time. I had old drafts in there that were loaded but I'm almost certain like I didn't have to worry about the weight painting. Because I remember that's why I did the clone ones, because it was so easy. Because they're already made, and I just had to. I don't even know. No, I did have to bring down the tries on the hair. There was a cap. I don't know what it is. Yeah, don't ever quote me on Roblox stuff
It's
though.
much more lenient, though. That's for sure.
It is. It's much more lenient. It's a lot easier once you figure it out. And then I've only done it like once or twice for a wearable. No, maybe 3 times. I have a bunch of drafts in there that I tried and I kept fucking them up because some of the tutorials aren't relevant to like the plugins that I have on the studio. I don't really know. But yeah, it's definitely easier.
That's really fascinating. I mean, just considering how much of an audience that Roblox has, I can hear somebody in another room in my house screaming right now, and they're on Roblox. and so I know like how much time is spent and dedicated. And I think Drip, what you're saying, like we do not have to be digital world agnostic. You know, like I don't just watch one TV show and people are going to unfriend me if I like a different kind of TV show. Like I think we should definitely be open to all things because there's some fun things in Roblox. Like then there's some other non-fun things, brain rots when they get stolen, stuff like that. But um okay, what was I going to say? I was going to ask you something about what you said about um, procedural. What did you? I don't know what that means. Procedural design, like how you thought that was a good idea. Is that am I saying it right?
You mean prefab?
Yeah, prefab. That's it.
Oh, that's Sketchfab. That's getting a model
Ah,
that
okay.
has all the topology and then customizing it. Maybe you're like changing the form completely. Maybe you're adding parts to it. And then making a low poly version, and then cage baking from the high poly down to the low poly. And it's just a different flow. Like you could have just taken the mesh and gone into Substance Painter and done it that method, but this is a way to capture the PBRs and the high quality that's already there and make it your own. I would not recommend using a prefab if you're doing a competition. That would probably be seen as unfair. I'm just saying for practice, for improving your skill sets, definitely be open to other ways. I've got like 3 different flows of how I create wearables now, and they're each one is amazing and does different types of things. I created a fanny pack, and it's really perfect. I think it was perfect, and it was just subdivision from a cube, and I was able to retain really low poly count, so I was able to add all these crazy things that I wanted to do. So it really depends what you're making, how fast you want to get there. If you are using AI texturing, or if you're trying to make a hybrid flow of putting your own texturing onto any mix of these types of flows, I guess.
Okay, that helps a lot. Just to know what was meant by that.
Well, it's how I've been learning with I've been learning all with the Clone X assets. I mean, I've made like a few items from scratch using like YouTube videos, but like I've been using Clone X assets and modifying them to really get comfortable in Blender and learn all of these like different types of tools, because DCL is like a much more intricate process for publishing wearables. So if I can learn that, it makes everything else so much easier. So I do really like, and I think my whole point of this conversation was not to compare platforms at all. My whole point was to talk about the IP and how we used AI made assets that were generated all within one night. I mean, the entire game was put together not pretty. I mean, I switched out all the assets. There's actual assets in there now instead of coded shapes that have weird textures on them, because Roblox allows you to switch out asset IDs from the stuff they apply. So they make it really easy to use, stuff that they have. But at any rate, it was just so cool that we had an entire game's basically IP characters ready in a night and imported. It was just crazy.
That is mind-boggling to me. That is so cool. Like I've never really wanted to build a game, or like kind of just maybe tiny bit like here and there, but after hearing you say that and then Isle's game, I'm like, gosh, like maybe I could, like maybe it's possible. So it's I think that's so cool because we don't know how we're going to inspire other people. Like I'm sure Isle was just making his game to make his game, but like I've heard from a few people now like he really inspired them. So we all got to just keep building our cool shit.
And that's not to discredit anybody that has been making games in the past that has been here for a while, especially when it was super hard. We all know that everyone has made really great games here. Even small ones or small experiences. It's just crazy to feel like the regular person is empowered.
Yeah, that's a good point because I know, I mean, you guys have done it already, like with Roomway and different games like here that have taken time to make the assets, and everything that went into that and host events and everything. So yeah, good point. And I feel bad, like, I guess then I'm like, oh no, are we stepping on the toes of the people that did take the time to go and like learn all these tools? Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm like, because like AI art, I'm like, like I have strong opinions on it. So now I'm like being almost not hypocritical, but maybe a little bit of like, yeah, I don't like when AI art takes a job from an artist, but now I'm like okay with it as a gamer. So maybe I gotta put more thought into that, how it sits with me.
I think the biggest thing is separating slop from assistance. I hate slop. You know, when you just create something. Uh, I'm gonna tell him about what happened. M made a banner for my car, and she took one of my car pictures and threw it in there. And M is a brilliant prompter. But this particular time, it was very generic, and it looked like early Chat GPT. It was just like the earliest kind of um graphics we used to see, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's AI slop. I'm just so not interested. And she's like, okay, let me try again. And so she tries again and uses, I don't know what she used this other time, and it was more realistic and it looked real. And I was just completely thrown back because I didn't believe it could be done. I was like, "No, no, 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 no. Don't put my car in that stuff. Let's keep it separate, keep it away." And then she said, "Hold my beer," and just came back with something that was legit. And it was because you either just give it to the AI and let it go downstream, and you know what the people get at the bottom of the river, what they get, or you know you're the aura farmer on the end of the boat, and you're just doing all your stuff, and AI is just the paddlers behind you that are, you know. So like you're either using these little bits of these flows to improve yourself as an artist, um or you're not interested. You're like me, you're like, I don't want anything that looks so bad. I could do it so much better. Sure, it would take me longer, but I'm just not interested. And I think that for me, growing out of that and saying, you know what, I'm going to try some of this stuff. I'm going to take some of these prefabs and see what I can do with it. I'm going to take some of these high poly triple 3D assets and see what I can make with it. By being humble and actually taking some time to, because I used to make fun of people too for that. Like we all did. We all hated when someone dropped, and we still do. Maybe, you know, if you're just taking a prefab straight from Sketchfab and blasting it down, and it's a carbon copy, then you know there's not much pride in that. But like taking the time to actually try it yourself, and it's like it's going to increase your skills, it's going to increase your productivity, and maybe you're going to find out that you were right and that AI is not for you. But I know you're going to find one little thing where you're just like, that was sick. The other night I did my lighting, my bake down a little bit too strong, and there were some white parts that were blown out, and Em goes, what's that white part, it looks messed up. And I said the same thing to her last night, so here she is, you know, dose of the same medicine. And I'm like,
The
I
first
know.
one was a mock-up. Okay. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Done.
But so there were white parts on it, and I was like, I'm not gonna go rebake it. And she's like, I could fix it in Canva. And I was like, okay, if you use clone stamp tool, it's gonna mess up the lighting. And she's like, I'm not gonna use clone stamp tool. So she gives it back in 5 minutes, and she patched it up, and it's perfect. And it's like things like that. When you get in there and use one little thing to just, you know, improve or speed up the flow, I think that's where the OGs are gonna like find their place. But you don't know until you try. And just like I didn't know until I opened up Roblox and saw that there's some good stuff in there. You kind of gotta. I had to get off my high horse and, you know, say, yeah, I'll take a look and I'll help you, Em. So I guess that's my advice is, you know, just try it, just mess around. You don't need to marry anything. Um, but yeah, there's so many different processes. I know MetaBeast One Existence released a new St. Patrick's Day hat, and that one was started from a prefab, and it's really nice. I love it. I still need to scoop one, or maybe it's for an event. I'm not sure, but I did want to give some props to that because that was, I think, maybe his first wearable. I'm not sure, but yeah.
That's so cool. I think it was. Is it? I see people with it. Let me see.
The fedora. Yeah, we gave away one yesterday. a lucky EA holder snagged it, and also we're giving away one for best post from yesterday's event. Um, so yeah, and you can buy it in the marketplace. I believe there's going to be an event here soon as well.
I just wanted to reiterate what Doc was saying, in that using all these different tools has really helped me develop in many different ways that I never thought I would before. I have a background in accounting. That's it. So it's really exciting to use the tools that are accessible to us to do this type of stuff and be able to feel like you can, do stuff.
I totally feel that. Yesterday, I got a little bit of reassurance with the RTMP server that I had set up with through Cursor. I guess it performs better than a HP server because usually for the MetaBeast roaming parties, Make is streaming into his HP server, and I'm broadcasting that into my OBS, picking up the feed into my OBS. And before, for like a bunch of weeks before, I've always had to like restart makes like stream in my OBS like manually because make would just start freezing or skipping. But yesterday with Mew server number 2, as we like to call it, I did not have to restart make at any point, or I didn't even have to restart vape during his performance either. So yay. Validation.
I think that could be an example of how your AI creation has dethroned a gatekeeper. I think that some of the
A
OGs.
thief.
I think some of the OGs. Let's just imagine there is. I don't think there is one, but let's just imagine that there was an OG that had those servers up, and I don't know. I guess that's a bad example. I think that these OGs that are dabbling in AI are going to improve themselves, whereas the gatekeepers will not be dabbling, and they're going to make you fear it because otherwise someone might come along like Sinful and create something that's better than what they've been gatekeeping and locking people down to. So I think that it might be where it's a strange thing to talk about, but it might be worth pointing out that there are gatekeepers and they don't like this stuff and they don't like to share knowledge and they want their old ways to be premium for not accessible. And I think that yeah, these tools will combat that.
That's actually
Indeed,
such a
indeed.
big deal, like what you just said. Like, because I was like saying earlier, I feel bad. Are we taking jobs from the people that have gone through these, like through learning, developer tooling, coding? But they are also evolving just as fast as we are, if they choose to, or if it is a moment in history where it's like, get on that horse. Don't ask what seat on the rocket that you've got, just get on the rocket. And so yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad we have options.
We all just got a promotion.
Oh my gosh, now I'm scared. It might have been the promotion that I'm like, should I promoted the girl next to me?
Well, no, because as long as you're showing up to work, you're going to be getting better and you were the right hire. But I think we're not done being promoted either because these tools, right? Like we could say it's 2026. This is the end. This is as far as AI got. And these are the tools we get for the next 20 years, which is crazy because we've had the same old tools for the last 20 years. We've had the same phones that just get a tiny bit better and a tiny bit better, and then here's something that just unleashed the floodgates. Um, yeah.
Yeah, the OGs are high, flying high, like even higher. They're more supported now, so I don't feel like anything's being taken away from anybody. Like Doc said, I feel like everybody is just given this little advantage to help them go the next step. So all OGs are, a wonderful thing to think about is I do like So like in the last couple of years, I started doing web development for one of my clients, and they work in an industry where security is so important. You cannot just code data apps without security. And this is where people that know what the fuck they're doing come into play. You cannot just hire your little person that does your web development to go make you a highly secure web app data that might have personal info that you don't want people getting hacked into. So like there are so many instances in which no, we're not taking jobs. We're all just getting a step up, and it makes me happy for everybody. Honestly, it really does.
Well, I think my last point might be against that, and it's that um, these tools are going to be getting better and better, and maybe next year or the year after, we won't need to do decimation or high to low poly, and the AI will do perfect low poly, or the AI will do all this, all these extra steps, and then those OGs will have the luxury of fast tracking even more. So either they're going to keep improving and we're going to keep improving, but the point is maybe one day 3D modeling, yes, 100% will be a job that was taken, but then you've got the 3D prompters being the new job. So either you were an OG and you got on that, you rode that wave, or you were a guy that is still working on old cars because you don't want to touch the new ones with the sensors. So I don't know. I see it evolving a lot more. We're just at a brief moment in time as something greater is still rolling out. Like there's no way this is the end point.
That makes me so bullish for the future, just with, I don't know, like sometimes I think, God, what am I doing with my life? I should go back to teaching, special education. And like every time I feel like that, I'm like, I'm at like that cusp of like, I don't know, like the closest I can be to a pioneer of like trying new things. And I just don't want to go backwards. And I think especially in the last 6 months to a year, it's like that even more. Like, no, like I don't I'm watching people create amazing stuff that we never thought was possible. So I can't go backwards in time. Like I can't. I have to keep pushing. So yeah, this whole conversation is making me bullish.
Yay. I do see that Meta Beast popped up whenever we Dr. Drip mentioned the Fedora.
How could I not from that wonderful shout out from Dr. Drip? I appreciate that very much. I appreciate your help in the forum too. Finally got that reposted. But yes, you're correct. And I did state it when I posted it on X that I had the base already. And I worked with that. A lot of it was destroyed and rebuilt, but it was a prefab. Um, One and yes, it is actually the first one that I did myself. I didn't pay anyone to do um, as well. The only problems I'm coming across right now, though, are at and I talked to Macon Sinful about this last night. Is I don't know about other people, but when I look at the image in the marketplace, it looks like total crap. I probably wouldn't buy it, but
I
it
didn't
looks so much better on and in world than that image.
I didn't
And
I didn't look at the mesh, but my theory is that maybe the emission might be bright. If it's too bright, it could affect the color of the item. But I'm just guessing. I'd have to take a look.
well, let me ask you this because this is what I'm trying to figure out. I thought you could upload a separate image of,
Yes, you can. Yeah.
but how? Because every time I do it in the editor on under edit the thumbnail, if I add a different picture, my GLB goes away.
Your image definitely has to be compressed. I know the only time I've had issues is when my images inside my texture, so like that would be your green hat, are way too big. Maybe the image dimensions are too big. You got to bring it down to 1024. Sometimes you can get away with 2048, but there's just not really a need to. But the important part is compressing it after that, because the dimensions get the file size down, but then the compression really gets the file size down. And then you also need to compress your thumbnail. The dimensions for the thumbnail, I believe it's the same. I believe the minimum is 1024, but you could do 2048 or 2000. Um, and they
I
do
thought
need
it
to be
was
compressed.
250 by 250 for
No
comments.
way, no way. I think way back in the day it was 512. No, it's probably too small.
Okay.
There's
But
something funky with the thumbnail though. Like I've with the ones that I've gotten from some people that make wearables, like I keep getting the notification that it's the file size is too big, and that's why the picture for this CBD hoodie also is just it's showing up as like black. So same thing as you're having Meta Beast. It just doesn't show up and I can't add my own
well, here's the
image.
thing. Here's the thing. The image will show up just fine. I can upload my thumbnail. I have what a thumbnail that looks way better than the image that's in the marketplace. But if I do it, at least when I was previewing it, if I changed the thumbnail from anything other than what appeared after uploading my GLB, my hat was not available to be worn in Decentraland. If that makes any sense at all.
So if you're so this goes for everyone. If your thumbnail is a PNG, run it through tinypng.com. It's just drag and drop. It gives you a new version that's compressed up to 80%. If it's a JPEG, I believe it's compressedjpeg.com and tinypng.com. You can Google search it to double check me. But you run your thumbnail through that. If you still can't do it, then you need to run your textures through that as well. Which is literally just going into the either the shading tab or the UV mapping tab where it shows the image. There's a little hamburger menu on that frame, and you go to image, save as, and you save a copy. You go compress it the same way I just described, and then you go back to the hamburger menu, go image, replace, and then you select your new compressed version. Then you export it the same way, and all these problems will go away. You won't run into these problems if you have a unisex item so much, because you only have one GLB, but if you have a male and a female, you might need to compress those textures, because you only have 3 megabytes to work with, and each item being 1.5 megabyte, and then you still need space for the thumbnail too. That thumbnail better be 300 kilobytes or less. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it comes down to compression. If you guys need help after this, I would love to help after I do my chicken coop chores, of course.
And thank you to whoever went and purchased one after Dr. Drip brought it up. I got a I got a notification on that. So thank you for that.
I
And
I had to grab one.
thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you like it. Um, but yes, as far as an event, there is an event on Tuesday with myself and Bitcoin. Um, there will be a live traditional Irish folk tunes being sung by, I believe they go by Rocker T. Watching Bitcoin, I'm not seeing anything from him. Hopefully, I got that right. um, about 11 a.m. I think it's 2 hours after your event on Tuesday, Canessa. Um, but we're neighbors, and I reached out to him to see if he wanted to do something. And I don't recall much happens for St. Patrick's Day, kind of like Easter last year. So we're doing something. I haven't decided how I'm going to give them away. It's going to be a limited amount that does get given away, but there will be an opportunity to pick one up at the event as well. So thank you.
Well, I'm gonna keep saying it. I think everybody should just pick a holiday and like I did Mardi Gras. It's kind of nice just bringing that build out once a year. If you do something for St. Patrick's Day, like all we got to do is like 12 of these, and then you only have to do one event a year. But like we should line out all the holidays that we could grab and just fill up, because a year goes by really fast. I was like, dang, I haven't seen the Mardi Gras build for a year, and then everything was broken, had to fix it. But and then
And
you can like build. So if you do something small for St. Patrick's Day this year, like build on it each year and make it bigger.
well, I don't know if I can say this. I want to say Bitcoin already has a idea for next year as well. So there's that. And then old guy asked me about Easter again this year, but it's coming up too quick. It's like the 5th of April
That's what
or
I said to
something.
old guy about Winterfest, and that did not stop us. It should have, but it didn't. Old guy is a maniac. Is he here? Yes. Old guy. I was like, no, we don't. We only have a month and a half. That's not enough time to put together a 3-week festival. But dang it, we did it. So I don't know.
I might be able to come up with something simple. I still have my build from Easter that I wasn't, due to various reasons and different things that happened with the Easter event, I wasn't able to use for last year. Which again, despite some of the issues that were had by some of us, overall it was pretty damn good. I think. At least that's the feedback I got from people.
Well, and sometimes it all works out the way it should. And I think being able to reuse since my Easter egg build was not actually Easter themed, it was penguin cold winter themed. I just repurposed it for Winterfest. So, it actually saved so much time for Winterfest. I was like, yeah, I don't even
And
have to do much.
I loved that you were able to do that because it was, I knew you had put some work into it, and I was
Yeah.
several other people did put some work into theirs too. But it also created new builders like Rishi Girl, which is amazing, and she's not quitting.
Yes. It's always nice when a festival goes by and you're like, and the person's not quitting. Like that pretty much sums up like a big build. And Drip, you let me succeed, tinypng.com. I uploaded the new PNG and I already sent the forum post to have it resubmitted. So thank you. Now I can go through all of my crappy looking like or like the images and get them actually looking good. So thank you. That's a lifesaver. I actually have a bunch of them that look bad and I got to fix them.
I don't know why I'm surprised that works. Sometimes I just feel like I'm just making shit up as I talk, but I'm really glad that it worked. And if anyone gets stuck, shoot me a DM, I'll help.
Maybe saying it live in a recorded space and then it's like, oh, I hope this better work. but yeah, hopefully they'll approve this and it'll look way better than it did, because otherwise you would not look at that wearable at all.
Can we talk about your new creation, please?
Yes. What do I say?
All the things. Because, like, I feel like you just, like, dropped this out of nowhere and, like, didn't tell anyone.
So I bought a second clone a while back, and I love her. And I wanted to publish her assets, but the CloneX site wasn't working. It was telling me that I didn't have the token in my wallet. So like I fussed about it for a little bit and I was asking for help, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna join this Discord. And then I finally, I don't know, after like months of basically procrastinating trying to figure out these assets that I paid thousands of dollars for, I finally got into the Discord and got into contact with some guy that was left the project, and he helped me get all of my CloneX asset files for my clone. And that happened just like last week or something, I think. Um, and I was so excited. And so I started working on the jacket right away because I knew I wanted to publish that jacket because I have one that's like IRL like that Doc's mom, actually it was Doc's mom's. And it's a really it's like creepy how close it is. Like in the way it looks. Um so I was really excited to get it published because I thought this, and then I had so many other ideas. But anyways, um that's how this came up. And yeah, so I started working on it, and then I realized that I wanted to do tattoos on it because it was just a jacket. I really wanted to find a way to make it a jacket that would be layered over your shirts. I'm still thinking about that. We need a jacket slot so bad. Um, but until that happens, it it's a top, and then I was like, well, I want to add tattoos, and I was like, well, I want to add more tattoos. So then I started adding more tattoos, and then it just became a whole thing. But it was a really fun process, and I'm really happy I did it. And I'm actually working on a different version of it, and I'm so excited for it.
Oh, you just kind of brought up like, the jacket slot. I mean, this sounds like a question that could be brought up to like maybe the next all hands that could happen in like 3.5 years.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it would be so nice to have a jacket slot. I thought about how I could do it in different slots and then hide things. Um, but that jacket was like 11,000 tries that I squished into 1,500. So, like, I didn't have a lot more of that in me to try and make it something else. But, um, yeah.
So like the tattoos, were they from the Clonex or were they like designs that you made?
Designs I made using AI prompting for custom tattoos that I thought that I liked. And one of the tattoos, I will never tell you which one, but one of them is close to a real one I have, and none of the placements are accurate. But one of them is close to one that I have, and it's near and dear to me. Um, but all the other ones, they are all AI generated, prompted. Um, yeah, I'm not a talented artist like that. I can't draw.
It's the knuckle tattoos, I'm telling you.
Wait, I don't have
Wait,
knuckles.
oh wait, okay, then never mind. Maybe it's because I'm wearing the hand tattoos that like in the preview here. I'm putting it up on Decentraland right now, and
Oh,
my avatar is just like rotating around. Maybe it's my knuckle tattoos from the KJ Strong wearable.
oh, it totally is. It totally is. And there's a
Oh.
men's, and I'm super excited. I've never done like a men's. No, all the girlies know it's a girl brand, but I wanted to make something for the dudes. So I hope you guys like it.
I need to gather some polymana and definitely get one. Right now, all I have is ETH mana in my main account. As you can see at the top, I have 177 ETH mana that could be going to M if it were only polymana.
Well, I was so excited because like I don't know. I was just excited to do a dudes one. I've never done a dudes one.
Yeah, and it's dope because they come with boxers, and the nice thing about publishing an upper body that has lower body included is you could still unhide the lower body. So I just put my pants back on, and you can make some really cool additional looks with it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Oh my gosh, you reminded me. All of the try layering stuff, all the wearables you have. I noticed that all the Doki stuff fits really nicely with her beautiful fucking wearables. So like I noticed the Doki ones fit really nice. Some of the sultry Dubs ones fit really nice. There's a little bit of Z index fighting, but it's tolerable. But yeah, there's some wearables that layer nicely for the bottoms. Um, Please let me know, the people that bought them, try them out and let me know which ones work.
I love them because you get kind of like a different look. I don't know. It's just like a different look. So it's like wearing the same thing that you had before, but it looks different. Like I was wearing a little pink Yankee shorts yesterday with the little bunny tail, and then the bunny tail is like sticking through the jacket. So it's like, oh, that's cute. Like that's a new way to kind of see that look. And then I'm like, we need a bunny tail in Decentraland now. So like it inspires more creativity, even beyond like the original.
Speaking of tails, you were talking about so you published the new emote, the jiggle physics, and it makes me think of like all of the tails and how I think Master Wayne said it, how we can walk and make the tail sway behind you. Like all of the ones that we've put out, I'm super curious about how we could do it. Would probably be with the spine weight, and shoulders, maybe, depending on the
Yeah.
placement.
Like weight painting. Like if you painted, oh, but you'd have to paint the tip of the tail to like the other. I'm trying to think, like if your leg was going forward, the tail would be probably, yeah, like, so if right leg was back, tail would probably be going to the right. I don't know, I'd have to look at like a dog and see how their tail kind of walks, but I bet if you weight painted it to maybe the foot or even the elbow or
Hips.
the wrist, you'd get some swishy
If you
swishiness.
put it on the hips, then it'll sway with your hips. That might be nice.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cute.
We just did a hat for Billy's duck races, and it's a streetwear hat. It's a flat hat, but the bill is a duck bill. On the top, it has the little nose holes, and it's elevated a little bit, like a different shape. And then under the bill is the inside of the mouth of the duck, and hanging from the bill is a little tongue. And we we waited. This was actually an accident. I didn't I didn't do it intentionally at first, but then I saw that it could be done, and I did it. I weighted the end of the tongue to the neck, whereas the rest of the hat is the head. So when you walk, the tongue wags, and yeah, it's just one more. It's like adding like a little bit of alpha plane icing on the cake, right? There's just one more thing. You reach in your bag, you're like alpha planes. You reach in your bag, you're like animated faux jiggle physics. It's like one more thing that you can embellish your wearable with, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but it's very hacky. You're hacking and experimenting, and I know anyone that's done this stuff has probably uploaded the same item to the builder hundreds of times before publishing.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is like you're knowingly breaking stuff. You're like the undev. They're trying to build. You're trying to like find a creative way to break it. And I'm like hoping I don't break stuff big like break, but I'm also like I found a new way that emote broke stuff today that I did not mean to do. And so I think the weight painting, it's like a new level unlocked that we can play with.
I wouldn't even call it breaking stuff. I would call it exploiting the limitations in the name of art. Because as those limitations increase, we're always going to be finding new ways of, like I remember in the old browser, you could do all these cool things with flip normals and have these cool effects. And in the new renderer, I literally had to go back. I just fixed my PK skull, which was all black, because I had some really cool inverted see-through transparent alpha planes going on that it just what it you couldn't do it anymore, so I had to go back, fix those. But yeah, that's the joy, is when you find something that's different. And this goes to anything. This is engineering, right? Artists using engineering. When you find one mechanism or one model that's present in something, and it works, and you're like, how can I apply that to this other thing? Like even in video games, people do this one thing in World of Warcraft. Maybe we could find a way to do that in RuneScape. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think that's really cool too.
Well, and then the more that you are understanding what's happening, the more you can like align the variables to break to bend in your favor, which is certainly I think what I did with this emo. I had a theory based on others that I was like, I think something might happen if I play with this part of the avatar, and then it was like, yeah, I like now I kind of figured out like so now I can play more and see what else kind of happens.
So now boobies are gonna bounce in every Knesset email.
I vote
Maybe,
yes.
maybe. The best part of that was a Lavra was like, that's not possible. We haven't added those yet. And I'm like, and he's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, haha, magician never gives their secrets. And he's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, okay, I can't, I'm gonna have to tell him exactly how. And then once I did, he was like, oh, he's like, that's genius. I'm like, well, just too much time looking at a rig.
Expect it to be nerfed by this time next week.
I think
Kidding.
he's pretty I think open to like people. I don't know, like he was open to the other clown and the great emotes. So I hope so far so good.
I don't think it's if he's open to it, I don't think I think it may come down to the decision makers, going back to the bad decisions they make, sorry. but uh but yes, all jokes aside, like that was freaking awesome. You've been killing it with in the emote game. Like, I mean, the bouncing boobies, the sewer the sewer emote, that thing is amazing. I remember like the first time you like I saw you use it. I did not know where you went. Like you went over to the edge of like the hedges, or like along the hedges of Genesis Plaza, and like on my screen it just looked like you disappeared. And like the stone that you had used for your emote kind of matches the stone that is like on the floor in Genesis Plaza. So I thought that sewer was already there. So I didn't even think of like going around and like seeing, oh shit, Canessa's head is in like to me I thought you just like disappeared. I was like, what the heck, is did you like make an emote that just makes you like poof?
No, I did. I mean, you can like watch me now. Do you see a donut dancing next to you with no name?
Yeah, yes, I am seeing the haunted donut, and it's kind of okay. I do notice that the Canessa name is like over the Cantina sign.
Oh, okay. Now do you see me? Because now I'm totally gone, but I'm still there. Did we lose Sin?
Oh, sorry, I was talking to myself here.
Oh
I thought
no.
I thought I saw your name like maybe within the floor of like Cantina, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just freaking out here. I
So
mean,
do you see my
maybe,
name or do you
nope,
see my chat? Okay,
nope.
so
Oh, I see
complete
your chat.
invisible. You do see my chat.
Yes.
Oh, because I don't see my chat.
I Spooky Spooky Bear says yes, she sees your chat. Failed test.
Ah, let's see where I'm waiting for you to get there. Okay, so as long as I don't talk, I'm completely invisible now.
Yes, as long as
Okay.
you don't talk, but I can also see you within the nearby list.
Yeah, yeah. But for like hide and seek, or like if I was gonna cheat playing Isle's game, I'm completely invisible now.
Ah, you better not say that out loud. Al
Ah,
might be
that's
listening
okay.
somewhere. No, I'm kidding. Oh, there you are. You went into your roach emo.
Yep.
You're
Uh,
like, is it like, I think what you're doing here is like a emote combination with a
yeah.
that's hilarious. Okay.
It's great.
Like right now I see
It's
your,
in
okay,
mosh pit.
so
Great
like
mosh pit.
when you went into the sewer just now with your roach, I like within a certain angle I can see your name like popping out of the cantina wall, but then when you do whatever you just did just now, it's gone.
Mhm. That's funny.
And I see Metabeast Sand is up.
So, M mentioned the adding having being able to add this the jacket slot. Brings up a question I have, because also in the DAO there were a couple of proposals made recently that brings this up. Does anyone know, is the canny suggestion thing still a thing? Because what the proposals were, one was, and I love this idea, is a button handy to to turn your volume off and on quicker than going into looking up the settings, which would basically have been at one point in time a canny submission. And I have had one in there over 2 years now that, I mean, it was upvoted. I got responses from the foundation. I thought it would in the works, but it still hasn't appeared. And that was the color eyedropper. So you could get a color exactly like you were talking about with the concrete or the sewer that looks so much like actual Decentralands that Canessa did. Does anyone know, is the canny thing even still live? Do they even look at that?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
I'm
I think
Paul
they
Rus-
made a statement. I can't remember, but I think they made a statement about like they weren't going to use that anymore, and that would have been, I don't know, like almost 2 years ago now. Now I'm like, am I making that up? But I know they haven't said at all like, hey, put this in a canny request. And I think the things that are being brought up in the DAO are more like foundation. Like the DAO cannot execute those at all. They have no control over those. And I think it needs to be like put through either like a help ticket or somehow just escalated to foundation to be like, hey, this is
Stan. I'm a body
important.
painter.
And that's kind of like where we have talked before about like in the CBD there's the community priority list, and then during the AMAs I'm the jerk that's like, hey, question from the community, and I'm like bringing up all these questions. And after the most recent AMA, I feel like it's kind of like I'd rather just bring those up to foundation right now, like throughout as they come up, rather than bombard like the foundation with all of these questions that could have been emails, like, because I think that there's really important things that need to be addressed, and then there's these that are more like, hey, it would be nice, like we really would love to have this. And sometimes like, if we bring it up to the devs, they're like, yeah, we can put that in. So I think from now on I'm just going to, as these come up, bring it up to the foundation, and hopefully it's not just always me bringing it up, but like bring like leave the AMAs for kind of the heavier stuff is basically what I'm saying. So maybe it just needs to be requested. And then that brings up like the topic that came up at WTF like almost 2 weeks ago about just kind of maybe we need a community, like a community liaison. Like I always joke that it's a HOA, but maybe basically like a community group that could have like a straight access to foundation and then also DAO Regenesis Labs, but like the go between, to bring these important things up, because I'm not like, nobody friggin' nominated me to be the person to do this. I'm just doing it because I think it's important, but I also don't have the, like, I have to be careful with what I can't always take on stuff and then suddenly be the champion to somebody else's problem. Um, because a few times I've noticed people complain, and then as
I
soon as
paint on
I would
people, and
take
then
it
I
in the community priorities, they would stop talking about it, and then it's like I can't, I, I can't do it for everything. Um, but if we had a group of people, maybe like 2 or 3 trusted community members that you're like, hey, I know I can go bug Johnny, and Johnny is the person who meets once a month with Kim and voices the community's concerns to foundation, and then she gives us, either like thumbs up or thumbs down. I feel like we could really use that. Have like a designated group of people who could speak on behalf of us, cuz some of us have done it before in like smaller capacities. I know when I was the ambassador coordinator, I was able to speak with Kim much more often and like bring up some, just like kind of unofficially just bring up concerns that we had here and there. And so I feel like it would be beneficial if we had that, but more designated. And I know who I would nominate. I'd nominate a few people for it. Would be some good, responsible, upstanding community members I'd put on my HOA board.
That that was exactly a comment that I made on the proposal. Was, while I absolutely agree and love the idea, I'm voting yes, but I this is I stated this. It won't get done here. It's a foundation thing. So, and I want to say I was told. I think I caught the end of an all hands or something a week or two ago in Discord, and I think Kim gave me a name to reach out to in regards to the cannies, but I forget who it was. Is there a Juan in the foundation that's a contact? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
think
who it
one.
was then.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a good person to reach out to.
My methods are usually like when I'm talking to with the Decentraland member, I'm just like, hey, like a cool feature would be recently I was at a call and I like snuck in like, hey, how you have that merch shop? Like maybe like it would be cool if there was something where you could include like well-known community members to have their merch onto this marketplace, and like kind of have a direct link between like if this creator has or maybe make it a priority. It's like if the merch is like IRL merch that you're buying, as upon purchase, you're automatically receiving the DCL wearable. Wink, wink, and then ran away. So I'll just let that manifest since I threw it into the ether.
Yeah, I think having more communication, less like less formal communication more frequently. That's the way. Yeah. Like it just helps cuz sometimes when you're just in Genesis Plaza and you're talking to like, Olavro come through and he's so good about like talking and answering questions even if you're like, "Okay, I know you probably can't tell me this, but I'm going to ask you anyway, put you on the spot." Um but then I don't know, that's not fair and equitable for everybody. I think just having like ways to get in touch. So it's like a pressure gauge, like if you've got a volcano that's going to erupt and it doesn't have any way of releasing the pressure, it just builds up until there's an eruption. And I feel like that's the 2 month AMA, like where everybody has questions. But if you can just kind of like let out the steam more often, like, hey, put this concern here and the community liaison will bring it up, then it kind of like brings that pressure down. And I know that foundation employees also are like frustrated that uh just by the same thing, like getting bombarded by all the questions that I don't know. I think there's definitely better ways to keep the communication flowing, prevent the volcano. And
Sorry,
oh
I'm
my gosh, what's happening in world? Oh, what is this?
headlessness.
No, look at Jay. I mean, yes, I'm headless, but look at Jay. Jay, oh
Jay,
gosh, we're
Where is Jay? I know Jay was like next to
look.
Fred Elf,
You
but
can't miss Jay.
like
You'll
mm,
see Jay. You'll see Jay. I think Jay maybe is above you, or there's
above
like lag,
me.
like
I'm
above
not.
all of us.
Like way above. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is awesome. Jay just
Oh
like
my.
became the face of La Cantina,
Yes.
literally.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh
god, this is
my
awesome.
gosh, Jay. That is crazy. Oh, we could do this and we could make it each body part. So then I could go be the torso, somebody else could go be the legs. Wow, this is what I mean by like if you know what to break, you can kind of like break it in the way you want. Okay, Meta Beast, your hand is up.
Sorry. So here's something I find interesting, at least to me. So, as I stated about how awful the thumbnail looks of the fedora, that's on my laptop. I am in the marketplace currently now on my iPad, looking at my hat, and it looks great with one issue. It looks black instead of green. So it's a total different image view on my iPad versus the marketplace. On my laptop, it looks like it's pixelated in a couple spots where it looks like on the sides of the hat, it looks like there's holes or something. On my iPad, it looks complete, it looks smooth, but instead of green, it looks black. Is that a stumper?
I think I can agree with you that in the preview yesterday, I was kind of seeing it as black. Yes.
Weird. So you weren't seeing the issue that I was seeing that I had with the way it looked in the preview. It looks perfectly
Uh,
fine. Again, it looks perfectly fine in world, but in the marketplace, even if you try it on, it looks black.
yep. I think an also was with Mardi Gras sweater that you gave away. I know, like, whenever I like try to look for it in my backpack, it's like black.
Yeah, and I just was able to, because that's the stock image that Decentraland Creator Hub or editor like creates. And so Mary Shark had gotten me the correct PNG, but I couldn't upload it because it was too big. So then that's what I meant by Dr. Drip told me the website to go to like minimize it. And so now I can put the right thing. But I don't know about the I think that one's okay if you look at it with the preview. It shows what it's supposed to. What well, let me check it real quick because what it sounds like what One Exist MetaBeast is talking about is something different. But let me see because I did. Yeah, let's see.
In at certain angles, you can it kind of looks green. So I don't know if that's a lighting thing, but it still doesn't make sense to me why the quality looks so much better on iPad than it did to me in the marketplace.
I think I had one that did the same, and now I'm like, what was that? I think now I can't remember, but I know I've had the same thing happen where it looks bad in the preview and then it looks good on the avatar. Like
Could it
once you
could
buy
it
it.
be like could it be like the emission on the band kind of creating a shadow over the rest of the wearable in a way? I know like it doesn't make sense like if we were talking in physical life terms, but
Wouldn't it brighten it though,
that's
like a
why I said
light?
it. That's what I said. It doesn't make sense when like, physically in the world, in the
Yeah.
real world, we would say,
No,
yeah,
it,
it
it could
would
it
be a
could
bright.
make sense, and you can actually test. All you do is export a version that has no emission. Just disconnect the emission. Go upload it again to Builder. Don't upload it to the same category though that's already published. Go test, create a test collection, upload it again, and see if it's still doing it without the emission. Because it literally could be that your emission level is too high. Maybe if it's like I know that 1 and 2 and these values they used to be different, so it's changed with the new renderer. 1 or 2 is kind of bright. If you're, I don't know, I'm just gonna make a number up. If you set your emission to 35 and then put it in that previewer, it might do that. So it's worth testing without the emission. Just export it with emission disconnected, throw it in a test collection, and go test it and see.
My emissions are always low. I anything I've ever put emission on that's a 1 or higher is it to me it seems way too bright. But
Yeah, just test for
but
science though.
it just inadvertently gave some excellent advice because I am also, which I can see what you guys say on this. I was trying to add some hair to it so you wouldn't look obviously bald underneath. You can obviously unhide the hair, but it sticks out of the hat. Although Rishi Girl has an outfit with hair that actually looks pretty sharp with it. Um, if I can figure it out, I've tried several times, different ways and times, and every time it melts, it's like melts the avatar or puts it in this thick cobwebby stuff and distorts it completely. Um, but that's good to know so that I can test adding hair, see if I get it to work without having to the forum, so, Yannicus in this case, reapprove my wearable every time. I never thought of that. That's a great idea. So thank you for that one.
I think having some kind of hair option would be I would highly recommend it just cuz it's excuse me, for the hairstyles that I tried, it clips through, and I had the same thing happen at Christmas time when I made the like the elf hat. I It was like way cuter before, but I had to keep making the like the fluffiness bigger and bigger so it would hide pretty much all hats. And I think it was Yannicus who said it like clipped through because I was thinking that one would be okay with default hair, but yeah, because I think when I made that, I was like, yeah, hats are so easy. And then I got to the hair part and I was like, oh, shoot. And then the same thing happened with Winterfest. I made a hat and then realized like I can't just make the hat, I have to make the hair too. And then hide the existing hair or make a big, big hat that will fit over most hairstyles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was seeing. And like I said, Rishi's kind of got some hair that it does stick through, but it actually kind of looks really nice, kind of cool with it. But I've tried everything. I've tried, with the avatar with hair. I duplicated a set of vertices off the head of an avatar trying to connect it, but every time I do this and go in and test it, it totally destroys the whole avatar itself.
You gotta unparent it from the other armature and parent it to the same armature that your wearable is on. If you
And I
want,
have. I
uh,
have though.
well, how about this? How about so after the space is over, I'm gonna go do some coop chores, and so maybe 2 or 3 hours. I could link up with you in Discord and we could smash it out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Vitsky was checking with the team to see if they had something to help me too, but that's been far too long. And I do plan to be on the CBD Discord off and on all weekend as I try to get my portion of the event put together. So
Cool, we'll smash it out then.
I appreciate it.
I crashed because I officially have no memory left on my computer. I'm like deleting screenshots to make room. So I'll be back into Decentraland in a second, but I have officially hit capacity.
Lol, lol, lol,
Oh,
lol, 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 lol. Did you get like a
I
blue screen?
no, God, no. I'm scared of that. I'm like, okay, now I have 525 megabytes free out of the 452 gigabytes that I've used. Don't don't tell Decentraland because I keep getting the notification like when I log in. It's like you have point zero or point 0.4 memory left. And I know every time I have a problem or like I maybe have had some problems in Decentraland and I'm like I don't want to tell them it's my storage because then as soon as I tell them they're going to be like that's it. That's it. But I think it might be. Brandon, I saw you run up here fast. Am I going to break my computer doing this?
Motherfucker. So guys, can you hear me? Am I good? Cool.
Yeah, you're
Um,
good.
Hi,
so
Dad.
good to see you guys. I haven't been up here in a while. I love all of you. I am at work right now at Best Buy actually. So we are projecting that SSD internal storage is going to go up in price fucking fat. Hella. So if you have some money, I suggest getting some internal storage, which Canessa sounds like you need right now. You can get 5 terabytes for like maybe 150 bucks external storage. So get on that. We were having a conversation in CBD about laptops. and like buying one for the Decentraland, all you Apple heads, get the fuck out of here. Windows. It's gonna be easier amongst your life
E-
overall.
Even better, get a PC.
Yeah, get a gaming
Like
PC.
get
Literally
an
get a gaming
actual
PC,
PC.
or if you need to, get a gaming laptop. At minimum, a 3000 series graphics card, NVIDIA graphics card, 3000 series at minimum. That is cheap. That is old nowadays. The newest series graphics card is 5000. So you can ball out and get a 5000 series graphics card, but you necessarily don't need it, and you can save some money. Okay. And the CPU, it goes 3579. Get at minimum 7. Okay. Little number on the CPU, 7. And at minimum 16 gigs of RAM. I gotta go. Love you. Bye.
Okay. God, I wish you could write that down for me, at least for today, so I can go to Office Depot. The only one I got like external hard.
I
If I
mean,
just get an
I mean,
external hard drive,
I
that's
understood
probably
the
good, right?
Chinese. I understood the Chinese that he spoke. So if you'd like, you can ask me.
I think just like uh external hard drive. That's probably my fix for today.
No, you need a SSD external hard drive. Not
SSD
yes, not just a hard drive, not just a
external
external hard drive, but
hard
SSD.
drive. Okay. Maybe I will just walk into my local Office Depot and I'll be on voice chat with CBD and I'll be like, "Hey, yo, bro, these are my internet friends. They're gonna tell you what's up," and you can be like, and you could be like, "With whom am
Do
I
you
speaking with
do
today?" And it's
yes,
like,
yes.
"I'm
Oh,
Jared from
I
Office Depot."
we are
Yeah,
here to inquire a 5 terabyte SSD external hard drive. Do you hold this in stock?
yeah. I'd be like, "What? You've never had somebody come in shopping with their internet friends before? Like your clients must be very IRL and not URL enough. They need to spend more time in the digital world." Be like, "Ma'am, you need to go touch grass. Your kids are right." Okay, well, hopefully I've deleted enough pictures now that it will let me back in.
Hopefully, hopefully. Yes, yes. And yeah, yeah, all these prices going up make me want to all these prices going up make me like just want to like get another PC, but like I'm not due for another PC for maybe another 2 years. Like, but I mean, I with the rising costs, I think I might. I don't know. Who knows? I know that the 5 series NVIDIA graphics cards, are more AI friendly.
Well, I think a lot of people are getting, the second computer so that they can allow AI to be a part of their life in their computer without accidentally like taking over their life through their computer. So having one specifically just for AI, keep yourself safe.
This would be my third computer. Like right now, I already have two. That like one is like running 24/7, all my AI mumbo jumbo, and then the other one is what I use to stream. And I mean, I also use the other one to set the other one to like whenever I want to stream in world, but like don't want to use my main PC or whatever maybe. What's up, Meta
And
Beast? Oh, were you
no,
gonna pass it to him?
I was just gonna
Uh,
pass it to Mavis.
okay, go ahead.
So just on that, just another mention on this. If you have somebody you're trying to bring in, probably the easiest way to introduce them, in my opinion, is the mobile app is pretty darn good, in my opinion. Um, but on that, I jumped in um, the CBD event. I didn't see on the event board. So I tried to do coordinates that I thought would take me there. And I must be somewhere close. I just saw Bitcoin typed a chat message in the chat, but
Yeah, just
I'm in
run
something
towards the
called
coast.
CBD City.
Run towards the coast. You'll be here.
You can't in mobile. Mobile is like
Oh,
like worlds.
then negative 149 comma 93.
Okay,
And
I
and
did negative 145 comma 93.
mhm. And also,
Yeah,
yes, Canessa, that there may have been an issue. Make was like I saw it like too late, of course. Make was pointing out that our event was not listed like today
yeah.
during
It's
its
daylight saving time.
okay, so did you make the change
I
after and stuff
fixed
like that?
it.
Because like, okay,
Yeah.
because I like looked at the event page and I was like, this looks right.
Yeah. Yep. I got it changed. Hopefully this week we're all back to normal. I think Beyond the NFT was that, did you fix that one? I want to say it was like
Oh,
last week, maybe not.
oh, I
Right.
mean, I had adjusted the time last week. I mean, do I have to adjust it again?
Oh, I don't think so, but I it might have been there or in the Discord, the CBD Discord. So I think we need to
Ah,
look at everybody's events and make
you're
sure
right.
that the Discord events are also up to date. Sorry for us Americans that have metric system, daylight saving time, high fructose corn syrup, and everything else. That's our, that's our fault. Sorry, but mostly for daylight saving time because it's a pain in the butt.
But
So so
what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go. You
Oh,
can
I
go.
was gonna say. So what? But what is CBD Scene City? Because it's
That
not the cantina.
You'll
yeah,
have to
like
talk to my builder.
yeah, that's like all of the area around there. If it's like in that area, I'm calling it all like the CBD Plaza. But then in my builds, that one is the city that I made on Tuesday for the class. For my build class, I just showed people how to go grab an old asset from the SDK 6. Like if there's probably very few people, but if you're one of them, it's like really useful to go back and get those old assets. Because like for me, because I have storage problems, I have deleted some of that stuff. So I deleted that file, sadly. I also deleted Mardi Gras. And so it doesn't exist, except thank goodness it's in the old SDK 6. Like, actually, that's a cool way to store your shit. I might just do this more often. And I don't even need to buy a external hard drive, but you can go back in there and get your old files and bring them back. So that's what I showed how to do is to bring it back, and I just labeled it CBD Seed City. So that yeah, like if you look at all the land around here, it's like CBD Road, CBD Road 1, CBD Road 2, because I can't just like rename stuff. You have to you can't lame you can't like reuse names. So if somebody's already used like CBD Road, then you have to like get creative. Hope that helps.
Speaking of the SDK 6 too, I gave so in the old whatever you call it, the old builder where there were different builds you could download. I have pretty much completely restored an SDK 6 build called Area 42, um, and put it in one of my worlds. Claude basically went through the file and changed everything to update to SDK 7. It was
Oh, that's cool.
pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a huge time saver. I wonder how realistic it would be to take some of the old scenes that like I mean, I know DG like pieced out on Decentraland because they didn't want to, well, probably for a lot of reasons, but didn't want to convert their scenes from SDK 6 to 7. So what if in this like year and a half AI has caught up to where it could be like, hey, just run it through Claude and you'll have it done in 10 minutes.
Well, it did take longer than 10 minutes, but it would depend on how big the build is, how many smart assets it had in it, I think. But I'm rather impressed um, with it. So I got a couple others that I downloaded from STK 6 that at some point I'm going to see if I can get them done as well. and possibly put them in some worlds. Oh, and then also, while I guess while I'm talking, when I was talking with Bitcoin about doing an event, I had a few ideas. St. Patrick's Day, one of them, of course, which is where we're going. Especially since he has a live performer, which is I think is cool. Um, One of my other ideas was to do a meet your neighbor type um, event and see if we can't meet find some of our neighbors possibly at some point. So if anybody wants to be a part of that or has some ideas for that, that would be cool. And I'll shout out DJ Dave. DJ Dave, send me your land so we can get something built on it.
Oh damn, I don't see his request anymore. I was confirming with the boss, but yeah, let's get Dave up here.
Sent
It
him a
sounds
request.
like it sounds like he has some land from way back in the day that's just sitting there. What up, Dave?
I'm going crazy.
Well, of course. What's new?
Ah, you should meet my friend Meg.
I got my new laptop, right? I'm setting it up. Um, so I transfer my MetaMask to my new laptop. Account number 2 is not transferring. Account 1, 3, and 4 are transferring, but account number 2 is not.
Um, that one that may have been one you imported from another wallet, possibly.
Right. So how do I export it?
You'll have to get the I don't it's not the seed phrase for that. You'll have to get the private address, I believe, if I'm not
Private
mistaken.
keys,
Yep,
yes.
in order to transfer that one back over.
But I got to get the private keys from the old wallet.
Yep.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
Okay. I okay. I think I might know where those are at.
You get
They're in
set
a notebook. It's
get
only
get
500 pages.
get set up and go check out. I created a so last week Sinful mentioned Shorty Tulls has an X space that I'm in quite often. I've started to put together a little build for her X space in one of my worlds. So get set up, hop in there. If you need anything now that we're on Discord, let me know. I will try to help you, Dave.
Okay, I figured that's what the problem was. I just needed to find the export from the old wallet, which is like a year and a half old. Lord help me, Jesus. And I got 4 parcels of land. Matter of fact, I was just looking at them when I was going through my NFTs, and they're in account 2 too. So I got to get this over there, else I'm gonna have to transfer everything out of this account
And
to
I can show you
another
either
account.
how to delegate your land to me, or you can just send it to me. I'm not going to sell it on you,
I'll
but
just
that's up to
send it.
you.
That way, you guys will have all the. You can do what you need to it. But yeah, there's 2 special name parcels. I can't remember exactly what they were, but and then there's 2 just parcels. I don't know if they were special editions or whatever that came out or what.
Awesome. I'll take a look and we'll see.
Okay, but
See,
let me go try to
finding
find this.
somebody who's got land that's not building on it. Let's go.
Uh, Let me see if I can find this. Which phrase? Export phrase. Okay.
This that you need the key, not the seed phrase. You need the
The
private
key.
key. It's the long motherfucking ass number.
The
Yeah,
21,
Letters.
like the 21 digit number, 21
yeah.
digit word, 21 words rather than 12. Okay,
No,
cool.
well, yeah. The words are, I think, still related to like a to a seed phrase. what we're looking for, and let me see if I can get there. Yep, I found it. Okay, so if you're on MetaMask and you click on the three little bars on the top right, and then
Yeah,
you go down to settings, and then when you're in settings, there is security and privacy, and
yeah,
then scroll down a little bit and you'll see security secret recovery phrase, and then like there's a button to reveal secret recovery phrase.
yeah. That now that moved wallets 1, 2, or 1, 3, and 4, but it didn't move wallet 2.
Yeah, because like I mean that recovery key thing is like individual per wallet or per, yeah,
Yeah,
per.
so I got to find that other one
Hmm.
somewhere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, at least I haven't lost it. I know where it's at, but
yeah,
yeah, I got
and
to get it over.
but if you like also, I mean, if you do have the seed phrase for it, like you could also try like in a different browser logging, going into like downloading MetaMask and then like using that seed phrase to log into that specific wallet.
Uh,
That is
I got
an
it.
option as well. And Dave, it's
Okay.
so nice to meet you. What's up, dude? Fellow
Yeah.
Beast fam here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all beast
Nice to
holders,
meet
even
you
if
too.
we're disguised as something else.
Absolutely.
We're trying to
Uh,
start something. If you notice, Dave and I have little beast badges on our PFPs.
Yep.
Added to some people. We're we're trying to start something or get them to make an official one. Hopefully that people can use.
Oh yes.
That way you
I
can sport your support for the beasts, even if you don't have a beast PFP at the time.
Dude, my new laptop is so fucking huge. I didn't, it's like 18 inches, and you know what? I thought I had a big thingy, but 18 inches is fucking huge. I'm just saying. And the screen, and yeah, it's like I'm gonna lose myself. I can feel it.
Brandon was talking about what kind of a computer to get. What's your processor and how much RAM do you have? Just
I got
curious.
the MSI Cyborg. It was the cheapest one in my price range. It's got a 5070 card or 5060
nice.
card, 8 gigs on that, and then 16 gigs of RAM. And it's got 512 gigabyte SSD, but I ordered a 2 terabyte external SSD to go with it just so I was going to use that to move everything from my Chromebook over, my pictures and all that stuff, which is what I'll still probably do because you can't transfer shit off of a Chromebook to a regular laptop. I found that out last night, and I cussed and I drank till I fell asleep. But so I got to figure
So
out all my pictures, all my AI creations, everything is stuck on this Chromebook until I can figure out how to get it over to that.
hmm. So what like your new laptop, like most of those specs were like awesome except for the RAM. So like all you would have to do is kind of like just keep an eye out on how many internet tabs you have open and stuff like that. Like for example, like right now, like I'm on a 32 gig computer, and I have Decentraland running as well as like my Brave browser, Discord, Spotify, Chrome, and Streamlabs. And I'm using about 65% of my RAM.
Really.
Yeah, so
Well,
like
I
MSI,
can.
Asus, and like Alienware. Those are good
so
gaming computers.
so then a better comparison that I can give you is the second machine I have next to me. That one has 16 gigs of RAM, and I'm running my Brave browser and Cursor AI, and it's using like 55% of the memory
Well,
on those two
I can
apps.
add up to 64, but it's got the slots. So that's the main reason why I got it, because it's upgradable. I could add some stuff in the future. But it's
Nice.
RAM is so fucking expensive, dude. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So what I'm guessing, like, how many slots are there? Are there like you already have two filled, and then there's two other ones available?
I've got 16 in two slots, and then there's two more slots available. So I'll
Wait,
have to.
you have 16 and two slots, so I mean, would that be 32? Or
Well,
is
eight,
it two
eight,
two eights? Okay.
two eight,
So
yeah.
so with RAM, you would have to match it and get, like, if you wanted to upgrade, it's like get two more sticks that are 8 to get to 32. Or like if you wanted to go bigger, then you'd have to get like four like either like a what was it? Man, oh
Four
man.
16,
16.
16, yeah,
4/16.
4/16s to get to 64.
Yeah,
Hmm. But
but
yeah, just
it's
keep,
gonna work out. I like it.
yeah, yeah.
It's cool. But right now I'm more worried about getting my money transferred. That's my first thing. Once I get my
Yeah.
money done,
Secure the
then
bag.
yeah, absolutely right. But yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me come up and interrupt your space with something completely non-topic.
No, 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 no. You are on topic. I mean, as Metabe shared, you're a landholder. You're trying to get your funds and all your stuff into your new computer so that, like, you could have the capabilities of even like getting into Decentraland as well, or yeah, building in it.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
because I've
Knesset.
got all this stuff that I hadn't even been able to use because I've been on this weak ass laptop. But yeah, it's cool. It's gonna work out. Um, I'm gonna go dig up some old books and look for this phrase. And I think I know where it's at. I think I know where it's at. So keep your fingers crossed, everybody. But I appreciate the help, Meta Beast and Essential and Vanessa and Simple and everybody else. Thank you.
And go ahead, Knesset. I see your mic is unmuted. Oh, she dropped. Yeah, Kanessa had to pop out. She has duties to get to attend to. So I am letting her know that I will shut down the cantina once we're finished. I'll make sure to clean up and make sure all the lights are off. And
I thought that was Jim Cedric's job.
no, Jim Cedric's job is to make the mess,
Oh,
like,
that's right. That's right.
and then leave it for
Oh,
for us
yep.
to clean up.
And he just left.
Could Jim Cedric secretly be Canessa?
That's an idea.
Oh my god, I should start spreading rumors and be hilarious.
Uh,
uh,
th- there's more rumors about who Derek is than
oh
just
yeah,
that one.
definitely Derek is a founder of Decentraland. Like, I'm quite convinced he is a founder of Decentraland. And I see Gino down there in the listeners. Hello, Gino. Thank you so much for popping in. We're probably going to start winding down here soon, but I have a very important question to ask M. M, are you there for my very important question?
Chicken duty.
I mean, it is a chicken related question because she said some wild shit before when we were starting the space, and I just needed to bring it up. I needed to address it.
Does Dr. Drip need to pick up that what was that whole chicken thing? There was something with chickens in Decentraland at one point.
City chickens?
I don't, well, there should be city chickens, but there was something else. I don't remember what it is.
Oh, oh wells. Maybe I'll come back to you. but like, yeah, I guess this is a good time to start winding down. And we've been going for 3 hours and 23 minutes so far. Unless someone like has something that they would like to ask or talk about, like I'm totally down to stay. But if not, we could just start winding down, continue our Saturdays. And yeah. One thing. Jay, I see Jay name in the space here, but like I don't know if you're watching on stream because I wanted to actually like I was hoping she would pop into the Decentraland while the stream was going because when I would have saw her, I would have like actively showed her um how to assign her name to her avatar. Yes, Jay is a new Decentraland name holder. She now holds J name dot DCL dot eth. And yeah, I just wanted to show her how to put it on like yeah, assign it to her avatar so she can walk around with her fancy new check mark right next to her name now.
Oh, I do have a question. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, go ahead,
It
go
shouldn't
ahead.
take too long, too. So I know the Regenesis Labs took over the mobile. th- That was once a proposal to do. Um, what about the VR? Do we know if that's working on? Shorty's bound and determined to sideload Decentraland into her quest and go in that way. I was just curious: is somebody working on the VR still?
I mean, like we do have Gino here. If he'd like to come up and chime in on this answer, he could. But I mean, I can speak to like maybe what I know, and hopefully it's correct. And if not, Gino could like nudge me in the back end and be like, "No, sinful." You're more than welcome to do so, Gino. But to my understanding, they're focusing on the mobile right now. Oh, there's the request.
Well, I know they are also working on another, going back to a web browser version that's being tested,
Mm-hmm.
and M's
Oh,
back.
there's Gino. Welcome, Gino. Thank you so much for coming up.
Hey folks, how you doing? Okay, to answer the question, we are not currently focused on VR, mostly because I think the biggest bet we are all doing here for 2026 is trying to grow the user base, and mobile is definitely the place where that is more realistic to happen. Having said that, the technology, like the game engine we are using to build the mobile client, which is Godot, it's an open source game engine, supports VR. So all the heavy loading in terms of rendering and SDK support and basically anything related to the Decentraland protocol and the wiring behind it could be used in the future. The things that will, of course, change a lot are basically control mapping and all the user interface of the product. But yeah, the focus, and this is something that it was discussed with the council a few months ago, was let's just get mobile out of the door, see how it goes, and then we will rediscuss the priorities on VR in the future.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. And I mean, totally agree with Gino on like the mobile client is definitely like um something that will allow for like more users to come in. Like we have firsthand examples, Gino, with the EA community that we recently had an event with on Decentraland with the Meta Beast roaming party. A lot of those users came in on mobile and found it to be easier. It's more accessible for sure. You could log into Decentraland on the go now. Like you don't need to be in front of your supercomputer to join in. So, I mean, definitely, I love the direction that we're going in on that front. Um, and I guess I guess a secondary question to Metabe's secondary question. Um, so I can get some clarification and even like speak on it a little more if anyone ever asks me. The Is Regenesis Labs working on a client, like a I'm sorry, a browser client thing?
So we are working on the Webby client, which is a lightweight client that can be that it's like web browser based. We are mostly focusing the development to integrate that with all the creator tooling. We are doing some tests with like building scenes with generative AI, and it's way easier to load a scene in preview mode while you are building something in the creator hub or like whatever you're using to build scenes. It's way more lightweight to use the client instead of launching the Unity client, especially for testing and running multiple instances of scene. If you want to test multiplayer scene, it's also easier. You can use all the developer tools built in the browser. So we're mostly focusing on that. It's accessible. Um, like it's the baby alpha. It's out there in the monthly updates and in our communications. It's also on the Regenesis Labs channel on the Decentraland Discord. So if you're building, you can try it out. If you're a regular user, also it's possible. We're not feature party with the Unity client yet. It's just like a three-person team working on that. Um, but it's pretty good. The performance is really really good.
Thank you, thank you. Go ahead, Metabeast.
So I have maybe a hard hitting question here. Um, because I've had conversations with people that express concern about the future of Decentraland should the foundation go away. Is Regenesis Labs, would Regenesis Labs be able to continue it should, or when that time actually does come, be able to allow Decentraland to continue as is, if that makes any sense, hopefully.
I'm not sure. I think maybe Gino lost connection here because
He was rugging a little bit.
yes,
Either
yes.
that or I scared him away with that question.
Hey, welcome back, Mike. I see you down there in the listeners. But I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if Gino can get back up here. If not, we can just wind down.
If he can't answer it, I would like to think that they would be able to. I am guessing that they would be able to anyway.
Oh, he's requesting.
I jumped off the stage and on. Can you hear me now?
Welcome back.
Oh, awesome. Cool. So I was saying that I'm not sure if I'm the one to answer this question. Um, the DAO is the one that should continue and can continue the project if like foundation wherever decides to wind down or anything like that. Um, the DAO has been built in a way that it's the only entity of the Decentraland ecosystem that gets some kind of income by the marketplace fees, nor the foundation or Regenesis Labs has that advantage. So is the DAO the one that should continue? Regenesis Labs, as the current form of the executive arm of the DAO, could enable and help on that, but in the long run, is the DAO's decision. It's not our decision.
And that's what I tell people, that that's what's supposed to happen. It's just with the amount of participation, I'll go with, we would the DAO will need people that can do that kind of thing, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why economical activity is so important, because it's the way that the project will be financed in the long run once the funds that are available right now uh, are over. So that's why the user-based economical activity is so important. Yeah.
Thank you. That was my general thought, but I was looking for possible, I guess, backup should the DAO not be able to, unfortunately, fulfill that role when the time comes. And I've encouraged for years that we need to get ourselves into that position where we're ready for them to turn it over to us.
Thank you, Gino, for coming up and clarifying on like the questions about like the mobile client and VR, as well as the Bevy client being built for like client applications. And yes, and to Metal Beast's question, I really appreciate your time. And you're always welcome to come speak in our spaces, and also have a listen, chime in to what the conversations are. And I feel like it takes all of us coming together and having active conversations in order to understand each other and what our needs and wants are within Decentraland. So yeah, I appreciate you taking a little bit of your Saturday, spending it with us today.
Yes, thank you as well.
So I don't know if Jay's even watching, but I'll just do a little presentation here to for Jay in case, and maybe I could probably just record it and send it to her. But like yeah, yes, yesterday Jay received a Decentraland name, her first name. So if you are someone that wants to that just minted a name and you would like to use your name as your alias on Decentraland, you can go to decentraland.org. There's two ways. You can go to decentraland.org, and then over at the on the top bar, the top left, you can hover over create, and then from there click on my names, and from there it'll take you to a list of like all your available names that you have minted or purchased through the Central Land Marketplace, or the OpenSea, whatever marketplace you may use have the Central Land names available. And from there, there's this section that says linked avatar, and then from there you could just click assign name to avatar, assign to avatar, and boom, you could do that. That you have your name activated. Then probably maybe the next time you log into Decentraland, you'll notice your name is all nice and clean, and it doesn't have the four digits behind your name, and you'll have a nice check mark. Another way that you can do, which is a way that to change your name inside Decentraland, is if you go to the top left side of your screen where you see your little face, the profile, then click on View Profile, and then from there at the top middle, you'll see your name, and then right next to it there's a pencil, and from clicking on that, you'll see Edit Username, then a unique name, and from there you'll see a drop down, and you can select whichever name you would like to use that is minted. That's where all your minted names will be. I'm gonna switch back to sinful. Why not? Let's see, where's sinful? Oh my god, Have to do a lot of scrolling. There's Sinful 69. Then there's Sin. There's Twitter Space guy. It could be that guy. Ah, or Beyond the NFT. There it is. Sinful. Once you have your name, hit save, and the name should change eventually. Okay, that is my TED talk. That is my tutorial for today, and I guess it's a good time to wind down the space. We are over 38 minutes from our usual time, but it's okay. This is the metaverse, and I'm not sure if there's anything going on right now. Is List Cats event going? Because I haven't seen like the big blast anywhere whenever the event goes live. So I'm just gonna check the events page here and have a look.
And
Uh,
FYI, for anyone wishing to purchase a name, it's less than $10 currently.
yes, yes, it is less than $10. And I guess if you include maybe the gas fees, maybe it might reach $10. So, so yeah, it's never been easier or more affordable to have a name on Decentraland. That's for sure. And the name ge- um, allocates 100 voting power to you for in the Decentraland DAO, as well as gives you access to your very own DCL world, where you could build out your own experience through the Creator Hub. So, I mean, yeah, it's names have never been more useful here. Like, if you're someone that doesn't own land, like definitely names are a good way to go to build and just experience all of the Central Land, what the Central Land has to offer with the Creator Hub. And yeah. Okay, thank you everyone. Let's see. Meta Beast, do you have any final thoughts?
Um, well, I guess just if you got time on Tuesday for St. Patrick's Day, join Bitcoin and I for the St. Patrick's Day event with live performance. And yeah, that's about it. Be safe, be well, be you.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, can't wait for the event. Actually, I don't even, sadly, I don't even think I'll be able to make it if it's noon your time, correct? Was that it? Noon your time PST?
11
11.
Pacific.
Yeah.
11
Yeah, so
Pacific.
that would be 2 p.m. my time, and I will be caged like a dog in a cubicle. So, yeah, rip. But but yeah, dude, I hope the event goes well, and lots of friends show up, and and most importantly, I hope you have a lot of fun, Meta Beast.
Thank you.
like
The
like
biggest
like
part, the biggest hurdle has passed. That was getting the wearable. Bitcoin's getting a scene together. My next hurdle is my scene, but yep, everything should be good.
what up, Bitcoin?
Hey, what's up? I just want to say hi. Yeah, we're throwing an event on Tuesday. Um, and I big up Meta Beast for inviting me to do that with him and everybody who's been inviting me to be involved all week long. It's been amazing. But yeah, it was funny because he was like, what about a St. Patrick's Day thing? And I was like, okay, that's not totally my wheelhouse. And I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? My homie Rocker T has been singing me these Irish folk songs for months. For months. And he keeps saying, man, I need a gig for this. And I was like, hit him up. I was like, yo, I got you a gig for your Irish folk songs. He's like, what? Where? An Irish bar? And I was like, well, sort of.
We found the
Decentraland.
metaverse.
So super cool. He's super hype. He's so excited. So Yeah,
Yeah, yo, it's a good start. It's like for sure, it's a good start. Make sure to like record the content and like maybe that way he could use that whenever pitching for or whenever you may be pitching. It's like, hey, yo, I have a homie. You need a IRL folk song performer. Like, I got you.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's
bring up the
excited.
proof of
I mean,
concept.
I think for him, he's super excited that the Decentraland he can express more than one or two sides of his personality that he's famous for, and do more intimate things like that. You know, where he just has the talent, but it's not really something he's getting booked for. So yeah, super cool and excited for Tuesday. Yeah.
Yep, I mean that's the thing about the Decentraland. It allows you to express yourself and like maybe even some new way that you never like done before in front of other people. I mean, I can definitely say how like show hosting and being an event host and stuff like that. I never saw myself as like potentially or even just a producer in general. Like I never really saw myself in that role until I was allowed to by all of you, you know?
Well, it's the campfire personality versus the on stage personality. I know some celebrities, but you'll end up at a campfire with them, and they'll just start singing something you didn't even know that they knew or was in their wheelhouse. Um, and you'll be surprised. You know, you get to know a more intimate side of some people when they're not on the main stage. But they still got this talent, and they love music. So of course they learned other tunes. But yeah, they're not allowed to. Their manager doesn't want them to do that. It's not good for money or whatever. They're already pigeonholed into a vibe. So yeah,
I
even for me, I see that in Decentraland. For me, at some point, there's all sorts of things and projects I worked on that I would love to create a space for, even though it's not what I'm known for. You know. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I mean, no, then note to self: I'm not getting a manager unless they let me do whatever I want.
which means just don't ever get a manager because managers will not let you do what you want.
Man, I'll fight my manager. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight him the
No,
day he tells
And
me
all
they'll
not to
take
do
their
something.
cut.
you don't need a manager at that point. You need a really good lawyer, and then you just do everything and then clear it with your lawyer. They'll tell you if it's good or not. They'll be like, no, don't do that, you know,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Just check if it's legal in a way. It's like,
And most
okay,
good
well, you're
managers
willing
are
to listen.
lawyers. You know, that's the other thing. Most good managers in entertainment actually happen to be lawyers to begin with, which is why they can, milk the system for their artist. So,
Ah, I see. I see. All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna find myself a nice lawyer whenever the time comes.
yeah, exactly. We need lawyers, and there should be a law firm in the metaverse where we would go and have a consultation. Is it legal for me to do this in here? And they're like, well, no, not technically.
Yeah,
Okay.
not technically, but just wait for that cease and desist.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
and then after, like, no, just don't do it anymore after.
The first
uh,
wearable I published was I ended up with the legal department of Decentraland because it was the Misfits, what's known as the Misfits logo. So they're like, absolutely, you cannot do this. And I was like, okay, but here's 40 years of case law regarding this logo. The Misfits never owned it either. And it's from a film from the 1940s, and it's public domain now. So then they came back to me after I've sent them all these, files and different, legal outcomes. And they said, okay, we're going to let you do it. But if we get a cease and desist, we're taking it down. So I was like, okay. And it's been up ever since. So, yeah, that was really funny. My first time coming into DCL to make a wearable, immediately went to the legal department. And I got to give up. I don't know how I say it. Thank you or thank you or thank you or
the
she.
Anku, yeah.
Yeah, Diego, she totally took care of it and it was awesome to work with and get through it. So big up.
Big up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and real quick too, everyone. And here's an idea for a holiday event next year. Happy Pi Day, everyone.
Yes, 3.14 and a little bit more. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Did that just like come? Did that just happen? Just like maybe a couple days ago?
No, it's today.
It's today. Yeah.
314,
Oh,
March
Yep.
14th, 3.14 high.
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
And
duh. I'm dumb.
$3.14 full blown pizzas at 7-Eleven if you like their pizza, which isn't too bad if you ask me.
And maybe every Friday the
Mm,
13th, something weird should happen in Decentraland. Just weird things.
And we got May
I
the 4th be
mean,
with you. Nobody's done an event for that, have they?
we do get updates like between Thursdays and Fridays that most of the time break the platform. So maybe that we've been celebrating Friday the 13th for like a couple years now, maybe.
I mean, Wednesday the 13th, all any 13th, I think.
Uh, but yeah, I really appreciate you coming up. It's always good to hear you speak.
Well,
Oh
I want to
yeah,
say,
oh yeah.
one more thing about the earlier conversation about the youth up in here and kind of like behavior and stuff like that. I don't know if it's possible, but can we look at the idea of maybe people who aren't 18 have a smaller avatar or something, and then we know they're youth, and maybe they don't get to go certain places, or other people who've been kind of banned don't ever get to interact with them ever. There is no second chance. Even if you were banned 2 years ago for being a jerk, you just don't get to interact with avatars that are designated as underage. I don't know if that's possible. I know other social media platforms have accounts for kids. You know, my nephews and cousins all have accounts with their parents. So anyway, it's just an idea. Maybe the avatars look different, so you immediately know you're interacting with someone who's not 18.
Mm-hmm. Totally. But I mean, I also have like where my mind goes is like there are a lot of fucking sickos out there in the world, man. And like I don't
Yeah, but not as
know.
many as good people. I think good people will usually defend good people from
we
weirdos. Hopefully, you know.
you're right. You're right. But I mean that. But good people can't kind of like monitor what's going on in DMs.
Right, but if a second type of avatar was created, which would be, I guess, a second type of name NFT and everything, that can maybe be dynamic. So when the kid turns 18, it opens up other things and they can keep their identity. But that would maybe just you can't interact with the regular people. You're a kid, and you just don't you don't even see them. It's just a different tier. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about the ways that it can be for the kids too, because if it's not for the kids, they're going to grow up with something else and just stick with that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think sadly, I think it gets muddy once you start putting like marketing towards kids and stuff like that. Like Roblox, for example, has like a real pedophile problem. And like yeah, there's like people that get in trouble for exposing the pedophiles on that platform. Them being the good people trying to protect these kids, and then they themselves getting in trouble from Roblox for exposing the pedophile.
Wow. Yeah, I don't go there, so I don't know, but I definitely know, my nephews and cousins all play other games. They've come into Decentraland. There's not really anything for them, so they leave. And it's a shame because, they buy merchandise and these other things. There's a lot of money kids spend on gaming, you know. So
Totally.
we're missing out on that, and we shouldn't be, because the technology should be able to support second layer or tier for kids to be in there and build and collect their free reward points and get names and just do the same thing, because that's what creates lifelong addiction, and inspiration too. Both. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, I've
yeah,
seen everything that the kids are in tends to last and become pop culture. But if the kids aren't in there, it's just that's not quite going to happen. And Not that it needs to, but it's something I always come back to. And the experience that Rustan had with his kid is just like, why can't
Bro, that
come
pissed
up and
me
figure
off
it
this
out? Yeah,
morning. That pissed me
yeah. I
off
just
this
read that
morning.
too.
Like for real, man. Like it's just sad. Um, and I mean, yeah, from a technical standpoint, like this should be the first priority to address. It's like not like, oh, we need to wait for the next rollout to come to try to address this. Like, no, address it now.
Like
But
maybe
yeah,
with the youth account, everybody's banned except other youth or something, and then it's up to the kid or the parent to friend people. You know, I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it. I would love to bring my nephew in. He owns land. He has a name. All that. It's just nothing for him to do in there, and it's not like it's not set up for it. So, but he'll
yep,
turn
yep.
18 eventually, and he can use it then.
Eventually, he'll grow up. He'll be a fine contributing member to the Decentraland society.
Exactly. I mean, all of the youth in my family that I've given land and names to, they love it, the idea of it. But when it's time to bring their friends in and all that, and have the same experience they're having in other platforms, it's not there for them. And there's nothing's been built or any back end infrastructure to make it good for them. You know. So it seems like it could be done though. I just don't. I feel like everything's possible with DCL at a certain point. If well planned and you got the right coders and developers, I think it could be done.
Totally, totally. Well, thank you. Oh yeah, yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you. Last night I tried like popping into some of your lands, like the one across from Casa Rustan and stuff like that, and I was not seeing a live stream on. So, after the Meta Beast roaming party, because I was planning to raid everyone over there. Um, did I look in the
I
right place?
Yeah, so I spent the whole week getting Rocker T set up for streaming in Decentraland, and when I went to stream last night and get my thing going, I had 2 gigabytes of memory left in my computer. And it turns out that was breaking all sorts of things for me. I didn't realize
Yeah.
with all the building I've done, I just got so many extra assets. They just blew up my whole hard drive. So I spent hours last night backing up everything and deleting shit, and I should be back. So hopefully everything works this week. But yeah, I'll have everything working by Tuesday. And JJ's land, because JJ's doing a party on Sundays, is unaffected by all that. He has his own stream set up, so
Nice, nice.
everything
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask in case like yesterday you actually did go live and like, I come in and it's a surprise. I'm like, hey, I didn't see your thing on, and you're like, oh, that shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, no, I had issues, and I had no idea that my memory was so low, and it actually did affect OBS, and having Decentraland open, it just couldn't do it. So what was breaking was Restream. Restream was actually where the break point was. Yeah,
I see, I see.
yeah,
Damn. Okay.
yeah.
Uh, all
I should be
right.
back on right now, but if not, in the next hour or two, everything should be reset back up. So,
Hmm.
and there was an update on mobile, and I spent a lot of time trying to fix for the update on mobile because the screens weren't working in there at all. So that's probably where I started breaking things. Also, so yep,
All righty. Well, thank you
yep,
for coming up. It's
yep.
been
Big up
awesome
everybody. Big up.
getting to chat with you.
Yeah, every time. Peace.
Any final thoughts you wanna leave everyone with? I'm gonna start going around the room, winding down. Perhaps not. Ready, Metapiece?
Nope, I said mine. Join us on Tuesday.
Alrighty. Well, it's been an awesome space, and And thank you everyone for popping in. Let me open up the Decentraland events page here. I think Los Cats should be live like in 2 minutes. The event starts in 2 minutes. So head on over to negative 66 comma 141 for Los Cats show. And then in 3 hours, we have ABC Decentraland Tours. 5 hours, we have Planet Angsar 6 month build-a-thon live building and help session. They've been building a really cool game, so big ups to them. And very unique because it's kind of like a over the top view kind of thing, like Diablo style. Let's see, Metaverse After Hours in 6 hours with Austin DeSheni. And looks like tomorrow, Sunday, we have the Gigalons event going live. Gigalons Color Games at gigalons.dcl.eth. And let's see what the banner says. Prizes to win, music to enjoy, and badge to collect. So make sure to head on over there. Big shout out to Miguel Amargo for putting that together. Uh, 22 hours, there is the 7E Mezzo Royale with the Pixel Business Talks by our Helvetia friends. I'm seeing a U Sponge Lazy Sundays event uh, going on tomorrow as well. So keep an eye out for that. Then we move into Monday with the usual suspects on Monday. And then, this is actually new. We have Dial to God has a performance on Monday as well. Uh, the Wolf returns, and then MoFi Monday, of course, followed by Beyond the NFT. This week we have um, this week we have Jennifer Pippin coming through, president of One Love Art DAO. Um, and yeah, we'll be sitting down, having a chat, and hopefully we get to learn all about what she has been up to through um, One Love and her current project. I do not want to butcher it, so I'm gonna jump over to her X account. Her current project. What the heck? I thought she wrote it down. I know I'm close. Oh, there it is. Visible Violet. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And then on Tuesday at noon Eastern, there is the Absolute Building or Absolute Basics of Building in Decentraland, hosted by Canessa. And also, as one exists mentioned, excuse me, as one exists mentioned, the St. Patty's Day event with Bitcoin. So make sure to get your fedoras. All right, everyone. I'm gonna start closing down the room here. Thank you, everyone. Let's head over to Los Cats event. If you're in world, coordinates 66, comma negative 141. Thank you. Take care, everyone.